Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Godlike Naruto Zombie Apocalypse High School of the Dead. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Soulembrace 2010 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 01. Before the Dead. Unknown location, 3 weeks ago. My name is Alice and I remember everything. Fujimi Academy's Special Investigation and Disciplinary Committee Office, present day. And done. Uzumaki Naruto, Aka Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto Sparta to a select few, is an 18-year-old, third year at Fujimi Academy, located at a coast city known as Tokunosu City. He's one of the most brightest and intelligent students in all of Japan due to his high IQ. Because of that, he, along with a select group of students from different schools, are recognized as special students by Japan's Ministry of Education. Not only that, he is the current leader boss of Fujimi Academy's Special Investigation and Disciplinary Committee, SIDC for short, and the so-called enemy of all boys due to his good nature and charm, capturing most of the girls' attention in school. He slammed a stack of completed paperwork down on his desk, leaned back, and let out a loud sigh in the process. He's a young man with medium short spiky blonde hair with red tips, icy ocean electric blue eyes, 6 foot tall even, and an impressive muscular yet semi-slender build, whisker marks on his cheeks, and wearing a modified uniform of Fujimi High, which consists of a black jacket with a black t-shirt underneath, black pants, and red and black sneakers. Naruto is the only male of 6 siblings from the Uzumaki family, one of the top richest families in the world, who operates a huge conglomerate named Spiral Corporation International, which the main HQ is located on a large pillar-supported island that is heavily fortified off the coast of Japan. The island security tighter than Fort Knox itself thanks to multiple AIs made by the Uzumaki clan, with some assistance from one of Spiral Corporation's partners, Stark Industries. The island also has a private bridge connecting it to the mainland. Originally Naruto, his twin sister Naruko, and their younger sister by a year Narumi went to Konoha Academia due to their father going there and successfully graduating from there. During his time here, it was a prestigious school, giving birth to many geniuses. However, the fame got to the school's head and became corrupt after the Uchiha clan took over. One example was that the staff didn't like that Naruto and Naruko were doing better than their chosen prized student, Uchiha Sasuke. The children have been screwed over 2 ways from Sunday at that school. When Spiral Corporation discovered this, they withdrew their charitable funding of the school and got their kin out of there, with most of the females there and their family tagging along for the ride to throw in with the Uzumaki clan. The government then got involved, with Konoha Academia not hiding their dirty dealings fast enough. While Naruko and Narumi dropped out of the school system completely after that experience, Naruto decided to start a new school life at Fujimi Academy. Due to the actions of Spiral Corporation and the government, Konoha Academia's reputation was crippled for years to come. While the school life at Fujimi Academy was exactly how Naruto wanted it to be, it was partially marred by a teacher working there named Shido Koichi, who claims to be the estranged foster cousin of Orochimaru, a teacher formerly working back at Konoha Academia and related to Shido Ichiru, a fat corrupt politician. However, thanks to Naruto's grandmother, the CEO of Spiral Corporation, Uzumaki Mido, and Naruto's mother, the chief operating officer, Uzumaki Kushina, being friends with the principal of the school, Naruto's life became much more manageable and made lots of friends in the process. When he became boss of the newly formed Special Investigation and Disciplinary Committee during his 2nd year, he formed relationships with 2 young women at Fujimi Academy. Just in time a seductive feminine voice from under Naruto's desk said, being the reason why he sighed loudly, "I guess my teasing motivated you to work harder so that you can fuck me." Naruto raised an eyebrow at that. "You call fellatio teasing, Yuki Haim?" Crawling out from under the desk was Yuki Miku, a 17-year-old 2nd-year student at Fujimi Academy, who regarded as one of the sexiest students in the school. She 5 foot 4 inches tall. Has light orange hair with a hairband to keep her hair back, yellow eyes, a slender figure with large E-cup breasts, and wearing a black and green version of the Fujimi Academy female school uniform. There were some weird sayings about her so-called promiscuity behavior, but ever since she joined the SIDC, everyone got to know the real Yuki Miku, as she was more than just a pretty face. She may be seductive and act like a flirt, but she is kind and has a friendly personality and prefers to be called Yuki instead of her given name Miku. She has a black belt in karate, aikido, judo, and can wield a bow staff. She also has an intensive knowledge of firearms, which is not well known for various reasons. Those who haven't taken her seriously while she's breaking up fights or solving problems signed themselves up for an extended stay in the school infirmary with broken bones, swelling bruises, and trauma to the groin, giving the resident busty blonde school nurse, Marikawa Shizuka, who has a crush on Naruto, much to work on. As for how she became one of Naruto's girlfriends, along with another, they both met during Yuki's first year and Naruto's second year. It was because of her appearance and personality that those strange rumors about her willing to have sex with anyone started. It was a few months after she joined the track team that things really got heated. Long story short, the members of the track team under the supervision of Shido drugged Yuki's water and nearly gang raped her. Thankfully, the captain of the kendo team, Busajima Siko, an 18-year-old, 5'7", third-year student with long, straight indigo-violet hair with a triangular fringe at the front that barely touches the ridge of her nose, blue eyes, D-cup breasts, and wearing the Fujimi Academy female school uniform with a long skirt, was passing by and saw that was happening and rushed to Yuki's aid, Bakken, wooden sword, in hand. The sounds of fighting drew a nearby Naruto's attention and assisted Siko after she explained the situation while fighting. Unfortunately, Shido got away, but the track team was disbanded for now. Back then, Yuki was shaken by the events, but Naruto and Siko were there for her. After Yuki recovered from the ordeal and later beat the stuffing out of the would-be rapists with her bow and martial arts, she and Siko became the first members of the newly formed SIDC. Siko also found herself falling for Naruto when she saw his skill and power during the fight. "The LEASE what I call teasing, I call blue balls," Yuki said, smirking. Naruto paled, "No thank you. I see you two are having fun as usual." Naruto and Yuki looked up to see Siko entering the room, wearing the black disciplinary squad school uniform and her wooden sword strapped to her back. "We try." Yuki shrugged, sitting herself on Naruto's lap and purring. "What's up, Siko Haim?" Naruto asked, gesturing her to sit on his desk, which she complied. "Nothing much." Siko responded, "The school's been safe ever since we, the SIDC, came to be. Though there were some strange rumors around town." Naruto frowned, "You mean the rumors of Umbrella Corporation trying set up shop here in Japan? Even after what they've been accused of back in Raccoon City?" Siko nodded, "Yes. But remember, they've been cleared of all charges." "And I call bullshit," Naruto said. "That video from Raccoon City that was shown on the news outlets looked way too realistic to be a prank. My grandmother, the CEO of Spiral Corporation, is still investigating Umbrella because of that. They're covering up just like they did with their facility the Hive. You really think that infection in Umbrella is gone for good?" Yuki wondered. "I mean, the payload of that nuclear missile completely destroyed sanitized Raccoon City and everything within a 15-mile radius around the borders of the city. The infection may be gone, but the virus that caused it is still out there." Siko said, "As long as Umbrella is still around, Raccoon City will happen again. Even tomorrow's not promised." Naruto sighed, rubbing the back on his head. "Let's just hope that the truth will out," he said, just as there was a knock at the door. "Who is it?" Yuki called out. The door opened, and stepping into the room with a stack of paper in his hands is the most hated and evil man in all of Fujimi Academy. He has an attractive but fragile appearance, black hair, yellow eyes, black framed glasses, and wearing a black pinstripe suit with a white dress suit, along with a yellow tie under it. He is Class 3As teacher and in charge of the newly reformed track club, Koichi Shido. Siko scowled at him while Yuki glared bloody daggers at him. Naruto, noticing the stack of papers in the corrupt teacher's hand, was not in the mood. "You've got 3 seconds, Shido team. What the fuck you want?" Shido just smiled his deceptive smile. "Oh, don't be like that, Naruto-kun. The principal just asked me to give you these." He was cut off by a bow staff now pointing at his neck by none other than Yuki, making Shido's eyes widen with shock. How did she get so fast? He panicked, she was just on Uzumaki's lap a second ago. "Your 3 seconds are up, team." Yuki growled, "Get the fuck out." Now young lady." "Silence." Siko said coolly, "We already figured out your pattern. Every time you bring us paperwork, your goon squad always causes problems while we're busy and sends someone else to the infirmity. And beside, your paperwork is bogus shit anyway, and I'm tired of it." Naruto added, "Now get the fuck out." Shido was about to protest, but never got a chance to as Yuki attacked him with her bow staff, making him run out the room. He never even had the chance to drop the paperwork on the floor to spite Naruto as the door slammed shut. "God, I hate that fucker." Yuki roared, throwing her bow staff and impaling the wall. "Who doesn't?" Siko said as Naruto's cell beeped. "What is it now?" Naruto took a look on his cell and raised an eyebrow. "Looks like some of my other girls managed to get the identity of the leader of the Yakuza group, Akatsuki." "Well, who is it?" Siko asked. "It's Uchiha Obito." Naruto revealed, completely shocked. "Unbelievable. If dad was here, he would gonna blow a gasket. He's supposed to be dead." Who is he exactly? Yuuki asked. A former comrade of Rin-sensei and the Scarecrow. He graduated from Konoha Academy during its prime. Naruto said, he's also one of my old man's students, but how can this be? He's supposed to be dead. Umbrella perhaps. Siko guessed. With them, anything's possible, like Raccoon City filled with zombies. Yuuki added. We'll have to wait for more info to surface. Naruto shrugged. On a positive note, Siko leaned in, grinning mischievously, when do we start breaking into our new recruits? In a few minutes. Naruto chided, so down girl. The Kaguya. Nikki Toshimi. Miss Yuzu Ichiju. Yuuki read off the list on Naruto's desk, a genius and two inseparable talkers are fine, but I don't know about this one Miyamoto Rei. What's wrong with her? Naruto asked, frowning, her skills in Sajutsu would be valuable to the group. But she acts like a fangirl sometimes when she's around her boyfriend Hiashi-san. Yuuki explained with distaste, she agrees with everything he said and sometimes reacts violently when someone disagrees with him. Not that Hiashi-san's a bad person, but Miyamoto's attitude could be totally annoying. Does that sound familiar? At least she's not as useless as that pink-haired banshee back at Konoha Academy, but I will take that under advisement. Our friend Hiashi did recommend her after all. Naruto said, shrugging, but if her attitude gets in the way of our job, then all bets are off. Yuuki nodded, fine by me. What about Ryoko-chan's brother, Kamuro Takashi? He'd be ideal for the squad. I know he's a boy, but you're only one for me, she said, hugged Naruto's arm. Naruto grinned and shook his head, I know. As for Takashi, if he wasn't so hesitant all the damn time unlike Ryoko-chan, then he'll be a prime candidate. Naruto then looked at his watch, well, it's time to greet the newbies. Don't know mean, fresh meat. Yuuki sniggered as she and Naruto got up. That too. He said, Siko, you ready? Siko nodded, just need to get the uniforms. How'd you know their sizes anyway? She asked, getting said uniforms out of the closet. Grade secret. Yuuki and Siko pouted as they walked out of the room and locked it. It was just another day at school, and my girlfriends. Little did we know that when we look back at this'll be known as the good old days. For soon, everything will come to an end, thanks to fucking Umbrella. End of Chapter 1. Chapter 02. Time to play the dead. Streets of Tokyo, early morning. Rain. The ominous prelude for the hell that is to come soon. Standing in the middle of the busy crowded intersection is a rain-soaked 5'3" young woman with dark brown hair, blue eyes, and wearing a blue and black dress, black and white striped high stockings, and red heels. She is staring at the ground blankly in a daze as the crowd of people holding umbrellas crossed the intersection. The people minded their own business, paying her no mind. However, one man, a salaryman, notices her condition. Boy, Kimi daiju ka, Ami, hey, are you okay? He asked, approaching her, you'll get hit by a car if you keep standing there. The girl just slowly turned to look at the man, her eyes turning slowly bright blue as she whispered something as if pleading, tears falling from her eyes. Unfortunately, her words were never heard. Then it happened. As soon as the man put his hand on the girl's shoulder, she made a vicious snarling noise, lunging at the man and biting the side of his neck hard, drawing blood. The man screamed in pain as blood sprayed everywhere on the ground with the girl now feasting on his flesh. Screams rented the air with the citizens of Tokyo now running away, trying to put as much distance away from the girl as possible. But little did they know that it was too late. There is no escape. Run. There is no hope. Fujimi Academy, noon. Naruto let out a huge yawn, finally satisfied that he finished his homework in math, English, and science. Of course, it's cake for someone like him, but still had to help Yuuki and the rookies, Nikki Toshimi and Ichiju Miss Yuzu. It was quite the chore, making Naruto wish that arrogant tsundere, Saya, was with him to help since she knew so much, calling herself a genius 24/7. Arigato, Naruto-senpai. Toshimi and Miss Yuzu, the resident best friends forever of Kao Academy, chorused together. Nikki Toshimi has black hair with a blue tint tied in a pigtail and is slightly combed in the front, green eyes, D-cup breasts, and is wearing the black SIDC version of the standard female uniform of Fujimi Academy. Ichiju Miss Yuzu has brown hair tied in a bun, brown eyes, C-cup breasts, and also wears the black SIDC version of the standard female uniform of Fujimi Academy. No problem ladies. Just remember what you've learned and you'll do fine on the test. Naruto replied with a thumbs up. Both girls nodded happily as Naruto's cell rang, prompting him to answer it. Mashi mashi. Naruto frowned when he heard someone trying to talk to him, but there was a loud buzzing on the line that rendered him unable to hear him or her. What the? He thought as the line cut off. He looked at the caller ID and was surprised to discover that this mom, Kishina, tried to call him. The phones used between them were supposed to be state-of-the-art, so why? His thoughts were interrupted by a loud banging outside, making the girls jump. What was that? They asked, looking towards the window. Naruto shook his head as he went to the window to investigate, finding the source being at the main gate of the school. Using his enhanced eyes, he looked to find a few teachers, Tashima, the tall, black-haired physical education teacher with a light blue shirt and black pants down there, along with Yuki, who was standing next to the ping pong club advisor and SIDC's academic advisor, Hayashi Kyoko, walking towards the gate. She's 30 years old, has dark reddish-brown hair and a loose ponytail with long strands hanging down in front of each ear, brown eyes, a full figure with large breasts, and wearing glasses, a white suit with a yellow shirt under it, a long gray skirt, and high heels. Looks like a trespasser's trying to get in, and they're making such a racket about it. Naruto noted, but can't help but feel a sense of dread while watching the scene. Excuse me, but what do you think you're doing? Stop it at once. Kyoko demanded, pushing up her glasses. The man in the business suit who was walking into the gate paid her no mind and continued to bump into it. Why you if you don't stop, we call the police. Now, hold your horses, Hayashi-sensei. Tashima said, rolling up the sleeves of his shirt, I'll take care of him. With a cocky grin, he walked up to the gate, reached out, grabbed the man's suit, not noticing that a bunch of flesh was missing from the side of the man's midsection. Look here, you son of a bitch. And proceeded to bang him roughly against the gate. Wait, Tashima-sensei, don't hurt him. Kyoto protested, worried. What the hell? Yuki frowned, there's no way he could be thrown around so easily. She noticed that something fell out of the man's mouth. She bent down and recoiled at what she saw. Fingers. Then there was a blood-curdling scream of pain, and Yuki looked up to find the other teachers horrified as they saw the man overpowering Tashima and taking a good chunk out of his arm. Tashima fell back and rolled on the ground, screaming, that bastard ate my fucking arm. Naruto's jaw dropped at what just happened, while Tashimi and Miss Yuzu shook with fear as they saw the teachers panic. Stop the blood. Stop the blood. Get the school nurse. Call the police. And an ambulance. Tashima-sensei. Stay with us. No, I can't stop the blood. This is Yuki's mind was reeling as she thought back to the day of that news report on what happened in Raccoon City and the day she, Naruto, and Siko talked about it. Tashima continued to thrash about until he suddenly stilled. He's dead, one of the teachers said in shock. Then no way, how can that be? It was only a bite, Kyoko whimpered. They soon noticed his twitching hand. His eyes soon flew open, making them sigh in relief. Kyoko then quickly made his way to him. Tashima-san. Are you okay, Tashima-san, she asked, but before she could react, Tashima suddenly reached his hand up, pulling Kyoko towards him with his mouth wide open. He was about to bite the side of Kyoko's neck when Yuki quickly tackled Kyoto away from Tashima and both rolled away, saving her sensei. Well, what? Kyoko stuttered in shock from under Yuki, her bosom pressed against hers. What was? We have to go. Yuki said, lifting Kyoko up while turning to the other teachers. Run. She screamed. They did not need telling twice as they ran, crying out in terror as they went. Come on, Kyoko-sensei. Yuki said, her hand on the teacher's arm, dragging her along as she ran. We gotta get out of here. Back in said blonde's office, Naruto growled, don't tell me, this is their doing. Naruto-senpai. The two BFFs asked uncertainly, what's going on? Naruto was silent for a moment before declaring, we're leaving. Walking up to a bookshelf, he removed a couple of books, exposing a keycode pad. He typed in the password and stepped back as the bookshelf slid along the wall, revealing a dark room. Flipping on a light switch, the room illuminated to reveal a 4x4 room full of weapons, mostly firearms and blades. Wow. Tashimi exclaimed. How did you get all these here? Miss Yuzu asked. Special favor. Naruto said, taking two combat knives, an assault rifle with a laser sight, an assault shotgun, a samurai edge handgun, and some ammo. Help yourselves to some weapons, but stay here. The room is like an enforced bunker, and only those with the code can get in here. Where are you going, Naruto-senpai? Tashimi asked, scared. I'm going to get the others and bring them back here to plan our next move. Attention all students and teachers. Attention all students and teachers. The pause system came on, with a student recognizing the voice on it as the principal's. At the present time, there is a violent struggle occurring on the premises. Students, stay with your teachers and follow the instructions they give. Looks like that zombie at the main gate wasn't the only one trying to get in. Naruto said, loading up his assault shotgun with ammo. Zombies? Miss Yuzu repeated, that can't be. Those news reports said that they were a hoax. But Miss Yuzu-chan, Tashimi protested, what about what we just saw at the main gate? Miss Yuzu was at a loss for words as the principal continued. Repeat, at the present time, there is a violent struggle occurring on the premises, BRFSCRCH crash ga. Ah. Help me. Stop it. Help ow ouch ow ouch. Help me, I'm dying. GWAHH. And then, there was silence. "Shit," Naruto muttered, cocking his rifle, "and here we go." There was a loud rumble and muffled screams, indicating that a lot of students rushing out of the classroom in a panic. Some were running each other over, pushing them out of the way and stepping on them. Even go as far as assaulting each other to get each other out of their way. "It sounds like a stampede out there," Tashimi squeaked. "And now what?" Miss Yuzu asked. "Stay in here and arm yourselves," Naruto said, "I'll be right back." With that, Naruto opened the door and closed to, leaving the two girls alone in their thoughts. They don't understand. Their parents actually work for Umbrella overseas. Could they really be involved over what happened in Raccoon City? Last they heard, their parents were working in a place called The Hive and last from them 3 weeks ago. "Our parents are fine," Miss Yuzu said, putting her arm around Tashimi, "they've got to be." Tashimi just looked at her best friend, but not at all the same. "With Yuki and Kyoto." "Matt, wait, Yuki-san, where are we going?" Kyoto asked, trying to keep up with her student. "We're going to the infirmary to get Shizuka-sensei," Yuki explained while leading the way to avoid confrontations with the crowds that were trying to get out of the school. They were just passing a classroom when Yuki stopped and backpedaled, noticing a flash of pink hair. "Boy, what are you doing in here, Proby Saya?" Yuki asked dryly. "What does it look like?" Saya snapped at her, hiding until the hallway's clear. "I would try to find that fattest Hirano, but..." Takagi Saya is a 16-year-old second-year student at Fujimi Academy and the most recent addition to SIDC. She has long pink hair and 2 ponytails, fierce orange eyes, a slender physique, F-cup breasts, and wearing the black SIDC version of the female uniform of Fujimi Academy. In her hand is an electric drill. "Well, break time's over," Yuki said. "Kota-san's currently at a military base on Yuzu Island for a chance to transfer to a military school. Come on, we're heading to the infirmary." "Infirmary?" Akata. The dead student was rising out of his bed in the infirmary, with another student looking on in shock. The student then grabbed an IV pole and began stabbing the undead student with it, saying sorry with each stab. Meanwhile, the ditzy school nurse, Murakawa Shizuka, was moving around the room, wondering what to do. She is a very tall 26-year-old buxom woman with long blonde hair that extends down her waist, brown eyes, ridiculous curves, J-cup breasts, and wearing a white dress shirt with a long brown skirt. Her instincts then took her to the nearest medicine cabinet and started stuffing various medicine and tools into a bag. "What gives? I can't get a hold of the police or the fire department. I could treat people, but they're screwed once they get bitten and they come back to life after they die. I feel like I'm in one of those movies like the one they showed on the news a few days ago." "I don't think it's the time to be impressed," the student said, who was protecting her. "Let's go, Shizuka-sensei. We can't stay here. We need to get out of here and fast." "Hold on a sec. I should take whatever I can carry, just in case." "Then please hurry, quickly before." A loud moan sounded off, and then the window leading to the hallways busted open with zombies pouring into the room and crawling inside. "Shizuka-sensei. Look out." The student cried, getting in front of her with the IV pole in hand, just as she finished packing everything she needed. Unfortunately, the pole was knocked out of his hands, leading him to be quickly bitten as Shizuka looked on in horror. "Ah! Shizuka-sensei, run away." He screamed while holding the zombies back, despite being bitten. "I'm sorry, what did you say your name was again?" she asked in an idiotic ditzy manner. "What?" The student fell to the floor with more zombies on him. Shizuka then stepped back as zombies surrounded her, blocking any chance of her escaping. "No, I don't want to die like this. Not when I haven't confessed to Naruto-kun about my feelings for him," she cried, closing her eyes and held her arms over her head. Just when all hope was lost for her, several of the undead dropped dead on the floor, their skulls mashed to mush. Shizuka looked up to see her savior, Usagi Masiko, dancing around, gracefully putting down the zombies with her bakken. One zombie tried to sneak up behind her, but was stabbed through its head for its troubles. Making sure that all zombies were really dead, Siko walked over to the downed student who was protecting Shizuka. "I am Usagi Masiko, captain of the Kendo Club and member of SIDC. She introduced herself, putting a hand on the student's shoulder. "Tell me sophomore, what's your name, kid?" The student threw up a little blood. "Ishii Kazu." "You fought bravely to protect Marikawa-sensei, Ishii-san. Your courage is nothing short of praiseworthy." As Siko spoke to Ishii, Yuki, Kyoko, and Saya just arrived, and the former was glad to see Siko and Shizuka there. "You know what happens to you once you have been bitten, right? Do you wish for your parents or friends to witness you like that? If you do not, then I shall end your life for you, as painlessly as possible. It would be my first time taking the life of another." Ishii's eyes widened in horror, but then smiled. Please do, Siko-san." "Wait a minute." Shizuka protested, "What are you?" Siko raised her hand, stopping Shizuka. Stand back, I've got this. I recognize that you're the school nurse, but I request that you not interfere. One of our duties as women is to protect a man's pride, she said, readying her bakken. As Ishii resigned to his fate, Kyoko spoke up. What, there must be another. Splat. Blood strained the windows as Siko's bakken made contact with Ishii's skull, instantly killed him, making Saya green in the face, while Shizuka and Kyoko looked on in horror. One of the doors then smashed open, with more zombies coming into the room. But they were never able to take action as they were gunned down, their heads splattering. The girls look over to see their savior, Naruto, with assault rifle in hand. Naruto-kun. Yuuki said in relief. Of course it's me. Naruto said with a foxy grin. Now vamos. SIDC office room, 5 minutes later. The trip back to the office was uneventful, unless you can count Siko ripping Shizuka's skirt so that she ran faster, causing her to complain, or Saya's loud mouth attracting all the zombies on the floor, or her killing her first zombie with the electric drill, while crying for her mommy. Oh yeah, very uneventful. The faculty room? Why? Naruto asked as the other girls loaded up in the room full of weapons. That's where all the staff keeps their keys. Shizuka explained. Well, my car can't fit all of us, we can at least take one of the school buses. Ayoko nodded in agreement. Good plan, but I do hear one question though. Ayoko suddenly used a variation of the big head jutsu on Naruto. How the hell did you manage to sneak all these weapons in? Naruto just blinked, completely unfazed. Special favor. Can't help but be prepared, considering the kind of world we're living in now. Now would you please arm yourself so that we can get the hell out of here? Ayoko calmed down, grumbling while she walked over to the weapons cache as Siko left it, equipped with a katana, a combat knife, and some throwing knives. Naruto shook his head, his cell start ringing, just as Yuuki finished loading her suppressed SMG and Lightning Hawk handgun. Hello? Where are you now? What? Alright, hang tight. We get there as soon as we can. Who was that? Saya asked as Naruto snapped his cell shut. That was Rei. She, Takashi, and Hiashi are currently pinned down on the roof. Toshimi, Miss Yuzu, Saya, Shizuka, Kyoko-sensei, you all stay here. Me, Yuki-hime, and Siko-hime will go get them. You're leaving us here. Saya shrieked, a bayonet knife in her hand. No. Naruto said calmly, we'll come back for you all. Alright. Yuki-hime. Siko-hime. Let's move. Hi, Naruto-kun. Naruto, Yuuki, and Siko left the room and rushed to the roof, hoping they weren't too late. End of Chapter 2. Chapter 03. Escape from the Dead. Fujimi Academy rooftop. Ooh. Bam bam bam. Wham. Swish. Naruto, Yuuki, and Siko ran across the roof, gunning down and slashing apart zombies as they went. All three worked like a well-oiled machine, covering each other's blind spots and weaknesses. They spotted the observatory where Rei, Takashi, and Hisashi are near and made a beeline for it. Yuuki was slammed into a wall and nearly got caught by a zombie when she was reloading her suppressed SMG, but got a hail full of incendiary rounds from Naruto for its efforts as Yuuki rolled away. When they made it to the staircase, they found it blocked off by several sets of chairs and tables that was 7 feet high and was blocking the path to the higher roof area. All three shared similar grins, getting a crazy idea. Naruto, Yuuki, and Siko chose a zombie, kicked it in the midsection, jumped into its back, and hopped off it, landing on another zombie's head and hopping onto another one as well. They zombie hopped all the way to barricade until they landed on it. Both Naruto and Yuuki turned around in sync and rained hell on the zombies they hopped off of. Siko then took out a throwing knife and threw it, jamming it into the head of the last zombie. Naruto-senpai. Usajima-senpai. Yuuki-san. The three SIDC members turned to see the three students they were supposed to rescue sitting and leaning against the wall. Miyamoto Rei. A 5'3", 17-year-old sophomore student who's one of the rookies of the disciplinary squad. She has long light brownish hair with bangs and 2 strands sticking out above rest of her hair, reddish brown eyes, a slender figure with ample E-cup breasts, and wearing the discipline squad uniform. She is currently wielding a broomstick with a broken but sharp twisted edge to use her Sajutsu. Kamuro Takashi. A 5'6", 17-year-old sophomore student who's childhood friends with Rei and Saya. He has black spiky hair with a brown hue, brown eyes, average height, and a slender build, giving him the appearance of an average high school student. His attire consists of his black school uniform with a red t-shirt underneath. He is currently wielding a metal baseball bat stained with blood. Aigu Hisashi. A 5'8", 17-year-old sophomore student who's one of the top students, a black belt in karate, Takashi's friend, Rei's current boyfriend, and both their classmate. He has gray hair, brown eyes, and is wearing the standard Fujimi High School male student uniform. Due to him being a black belt in karate, he has no weapons. Are you three alright? Naruto asked, jumping off the barricade with the others and putting away his assault rifle. Hi, we're fine. Takashi nodded, good timing too. We just saw the PE teacher Takeyama commit suicide and before that, the Black Hawks from the Self-Defense Force fly by. The Self-Defense Force? Siko repeated, confused, there's no bases in the area besides the one on Yuzu Island where Spiral Corporation HQ is. Do you see Spiral Corps logo? Naruto inquired, with Hisashi shaking his head. Like I said before, they might be on a special mission. He said. Can we talk about this later? Ray said, don't you have a way to get us out of here? Hold your horses, Miyamoto. Yuuki chided before noticing Hiyashi's shoulder wound and his shallow breathing, are you okay there, Hisashi-san? Hisashi coughed a little, to be frank, I don't think so ugh. He suddenly threw up a torrent of blood, shocking everyone around him. Holy shit. Yuuki shrieked, jumping back. Naruto. Siko said, nodding her head towards Hiyashi's bandaged arm. Hisashi. What's wrong? Ray cried, but Yuuki held her back. Why? Ray yelled in disbelief, it was just a tiny bite. Why has it come to this? Naruto made his way toward Hisashi and unwrapped the bandage on his arm. A nasty bite mark showed itself and was bleeding profusely. Tiny my ass. There's no way you were caught off guard. What happened man? Naruto questioned, scowling at the bite mark. Hisashi coughed again, we encountered one of them who was previously Wakasaka from World Studies. I thought I could handle him with my martial arts, but. He hacked up some blood as Naruto shook his head, them. Sorry bud, but they are zombies, reanimated by Umbrella Corporation's T-Virus. So, the news reports 3 weeks ago are true? Takashi asked. That's impossible. Ray protested, they said it was a hoax. You and everyone else thinks and says that. Naruto said flatly, gesturing to the city where fires and explosions were breaking out, and look where that got us. Naruto then turned back to Hisashi, who was slowly turning deathly pale, no matter how tiny, even a single bite is fatal. You do know what happens when you get bitten by a zombie, right? Hisashi nodded as he started to breathe heavily with Takashi and Ray looking on in horror. No way. Ray started to struggle against Yuuki, that kind of thing only happens in MOV. Welcome to the real world Ray. Naruto interrupted her, this isn't a movie or game. What's happening now is real. He said, gesturing to the schoolyard where corpses are starting to rise from the ground. It's your call Hisashi. Naruto continued, what your decision? Hisashi swallowed, no doubt there's no cure yet. I don't want to become like them. I want to die cough as myself. Hisashi then pointed to the railing on the other side of the observatory, if I fall off from there, the impact will probably crush my head. Hisashi no. Ray screamed, you're special. There's no way you'll become like. Yuuki finally had enough and snapped. Spinning Ray around, she landed a solid punch to her stomach, knocking the wind out of Ray and making her fall to her knees, gasping for precious air. Special? Yuuki snarled, if he is special and can't turn like he's doing now, then all of this wouldn't happen. Naruto sighed, Hisashi. We don't have to push you off the roof. Siko, you still have your Bakken. Hi. Siko confirmed, putting away her katana and approached Hisashi, equipping her Bakken. Wait, Hisashi gasped out, honor some last requests will ya? Cough. Naruto grimaced, make it quick. You don't have long. Hisashi nodded and turned to Takashi, Takashi, don't be so hesitant all the time. Save who you can, but be careful of the shady types. Right. Takashi said, his eyes watering up. Hisashi turned to Ray, who managed to recover from Yuki's body blow, Ray. You have to live. Don't let your memories of me slow you down on what you want to do. Ray couldn't say anything, due to the fact she still believes that Hisashi can't die. Finally, Hisashi turned to Naruto, feeling his life ebbing away, Naruto-senpai. Protect her. Protect Ray in my place. Naruto frowned at what he requested, but who was he to deny a dying man's request? He gave a curt nod, all right. Hisashi smiled, thank you. He said, turning to Siko who readied her Bakken. No, wait. Ray cried, trying to get up, but Yuuki kept her down, you can't. You can't do something like this. He won't Hisashi won't become one of them. Hisashi's different. Silence. Siko screamed, shutting Ray up, this is a matter of protecting a man's pride. To sit idly by like a woman isn't my style. If he wishes to die being himself, then I shall grant his wish. Hisashi closed his eyes, resigned to his fate. Takashi, along with Yuuki, closed their eyes and looked away, the inevitable happening as Ray's scream rented the air. Splat. Blood stained the walls and ground as the last of Hisashi's life ebbed away. Requise cat in pace, Aigu Hisashi. Naruto said, putting a towel on the head of the now dead student as Yuuki let go of a now distraught Ray. Hisashi. Takashi muttered, gripping his baseball tightly, why did this have to happen? Are you alright Siko Haim? Naruto asked, turning his attention towards Siko. This is the second time you took a life to spare them from the fate of becoming one of them. Siko nodded her head, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Why? Naruto groaned and turned to Ray, why what, Proby? Why did you all save me? Yuki's eyebrow twitched, this bitch is really starting to piss me off. Is the answer that difficult for you to get? Hisashi wished this. We didn't choose it for him. If he turned, he would have taken yours and Takashi's life. Naruto agreed, what she said. We're not letting anyone else die on our watch. Ray started to shake with anger, I didn't want any of you to save me. Who was the one who called me, fanatic for rescue? Naruto shot back. He was now questioning if he was on something when he chose Ray to join SIDC. But I want him to be with us. I didn't want to see him like this. She cried, I would have rather got bitten by Hisashi and become one of them than live like this. Yuki snarled and started forward, but Siko stopped her, shaking her head. Meanwhile, Takashi was looking at Ray with shock. Was this the girl who he made a pinky promise to when they were kids? Stop it. Naruto snarled, Hisashi wouldn't want that. He wants you to live. What do you know, senpai? She countered with tear-stained, dead-looking eyes, could it be? Yeah, that might be it. Now Naruto was starting to get pissed off at Ray's behavior, what are you getting at, sophomore? You claim that Hisashi's your friend, but you must have really hated him, like Takashi. She said, because me and him were fucking, and I wasn't part of your little harem. The silence on the observatory was deafening. Pathetic. Siko spat, breaking the 3-minute silence, and to think that you're a woman. You're not the same girl I became friends with when we were kids. Takashi added coldly, all attracting for Ray now gone. Naruto-kun. Yuki said, whatever you were on when you choose her for our team, I think I want some. Naruto rolled his eyes and gestured to Yuki, Siko, and Takashi to follow him into the observatory. Opening the door, Yuki grabbed the water hose inside and handed it to Takashi. What are we doing now? She asked as they heard a bump against the barricade. Making a water slide. Naruto replied as Yuki and Siko stood by the handle to turn the water on. Naruto then headed to the barricade. Wait, where are you going? Naruto growled and turned Ray, we are getting out of here. You don't have to come. You can just stay here like a good girl and get eaten like you wanted. For now, while the others prepare the hose, I'm gonna go and deal with this flesh-eating bottleneck so that the water slide will be more effective. What? Ray said as she finally got up, no. You can't do that by yourself. You'll be surprised at what I can get done by myself and with others, thank you very much. Naruto countered, stepping onto the barricade. Hey, Naruto-senpai. Naruto ignored her as he loaded up his assault rifle, looking down on the undead. I got something for you jabberness. He said, aiming at them, and it's a Hail Mary full of hot lead. He opened fire on the zombies, splattering their blood all over. Naruto-senpai. Takashi called out from behind him, it's ready. Naruto jumped down, then let it loose. Takashi gave the signal to the other girls, who together turned the wheel and turned on the hose. Takashi had trouble controlling it at first, but managed to ride it. Boy, you sure you got it? Naruto asked. Yeah. Takashi replied, they sound happy to see us. Who cares? Car wash their asses. On it. Take this. Takashi unleashed a torrent of water on the undead, washing them down the stairs, their heads smashing against the cement. That was fun. We're clear. Takashi called out, the girls turning off the water. Alright. Let roll out. Naruto, Yuki, Siko, and Takashi walked down the stairs and was about to make a run across the roof when Naruto was suddenly hugged from behind. Naruto turned to find Ray on his back and raised an eyebrow. Naruto-senpai. I'm sorry. I didn't mean what I said. I really didn't. She cried, tears flowing down her face. Please. Let me come with you. After a moment, Naruto sighed and pried Ray off him. He then grabbed the front of her uniform and brought her face close to his. Listen up, Miyamoto Ray. I'll forgive you for now, but I will not tolerate any more bullshit from you, especially considering the situation we're in. Remember, we all lost things. What's important is that you remember them. And what's even more important is that you don't slow us down while we're in the middle of rescuing survivors. Understand? Ray could only nod her head rapidly, determined to make up for her previous behavior. Naruto smiled and let her go, good. Ray then turned to Takashi and the others, Takashi. Mina, everyone. I'm sorry. Yuki facepalmed, alright, as long as you don't do it again. Siko sighed, I'll overlook it. Takashi just shrugged, fine. Naruto smirked, okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get the others and get the hell out of here. Faculty room, 15 minutes later. Naruto, Yuki, Siko, Toshimi, Miss Yuzu, Kyoko, Saya, Shizuka, Takashi, and Ray traversed the hallways, quietly sneaking past zombies to get down to the first floor. When the others were picked up from the office, Naruto stuffed some random weapons in a duffel bag and quickly sealed up everything in the room in a small scroll using Fuinjutsu, surprising almost everyone with his strange powers. For obvious reasons, they didn't question him about it yet. When they arrived at the teacher's lounge, they immediately bolted the door and collapsed in the chairs while Saya occupied the washroom. Kakashi grunted, putting the last stack of paper on the table in place to hold the door closed. Think it'll hold? Naruto nodded, it should, with all the weight on the copy paper on the table. He turned to the others, is everyone alright? Some of us are exhausted if that's what you mean. Siko responded, gesturing to the BFFs leaning against each other, while Kyoko and Shizuka searched for the keys to the bus. Yuuki then peeked in the washroom, Saya, are you okay? Huh? Saya looked up from the basin, now wearing glasses. Glasses? Yuuki stuttered, blushing at the thought of the bookworm Saya being cute with her glasses on, along with her damp face, kawaii. My contacts light around when we run. Saya explained she came out of the washroom, so what's the plan when we get out here? Are the buses still even here? She asked, while Naruto passed around some bottled water. Kyoko looked outside, there's one left. And the key to it is here. Shizuka said, holding said item up. Well, the plan should be to check on our families. Takashi said, we should stop by everyone's home going from closet to furthest. And if we have to, we'll help our families too. Once we're done, we'll find a safe place to stay. Well, that is great plan, Takashi. I say we should head to my home on Yuzu Island. There's a military place there that has all the types of vehicles you can think of. Naruto said, with a helicopter, we can get to places much faster. It'll help with searching and rescuing your families as well. I'm with Naruto-kun on this one. Yuuki piped up, I've been on a tour there once. The island is like a self-sustaining sacred fortress. It has everything we need and more. What about food supplies? Kyoko asked, adjusting her glasses. Well, we get food from outside the island, we mostly grow our own food. Naruto replied, food stocks will last for decades. Guys. Ray got everyone's attention as she pointed to the TV. A news report was showing about the current situation outside. Siko grabbed the remote to turn up the volume. Government has started to do something about this ongoing revolt. However, the politicians are doubting the SDF's ability to revolt. Takashi raged, they're calling this a revolt. SHH. Kyoko shushed him as the scene changed from the newsroom to a live emergency news coverage outside. The number of deaths in the Saitama prefecture already exceeds 10,000. The prefectural governor has declared a state of emergency. Pop gasp, that was gunfire. Just now, the police opened gunfire. But what are they shooting at? Pop no. Stay away. Help. Screams BZZZZZZZZZZZZZZZZZ. Please stand by, there's been some sort of a problem. From now on, we'll be broadcasting from the studio here. As you can tell, the situation outside has become grave. We advise you. Please stay in your homes unless it's necessity. Once it's safer outside, we'll bring you information about the ongoing situation. Bam. Kakashi just punched a table, that's all. Why aren't they saying more? Because they're afraid to cause a panic. Saya said. Even now? Why? Ray asked. Because of what just happened. Saya snapped, fear leads to chaos, and chaos leads to anarchy. How would you expect the government to deal with the zombies in a time of anarchy? They can't. Naruto said as he switched the channel on the TV to CNN, where the news reports being translated to Japanese. With the shitstorm happening outside, they know anarchy is right around the corner. No doubt they'll also listen to Umbrella's honey-sweet words. This unusual phenomenon has spread throughout America and has yet to be brought under control. The government authorities have evacuated the White House and will relocate it to a command center on board an aircraft carrier. There are reports that this transfer is in preparation for the possible use of tactical warheads. We have currently lost contact with Moscow. Beijing has been set ablaze. London has maintained order, but in Paris and Rome, there are reports of looting. Government officials have declared BZZZZZZZZZZZZZZ. Well, there goes the TVs. Naruto sighed, it's now happening out over the world. But how? Toshimi whined, when we were surfing the web this morning, everything was fine. I still can't believe that it only took a few hours for the world to come to this. Ray said, stepping back and grabbing Naruto on the arm, don't you feel the same? Yuuki's and Siko's eyebrows twitched while Naruto rolled his eyes as Ray continued, but there must be some place that's safe, right? And soon, everything will be back to normal. Keep dreaming. Way to be blunt, Saya. Naruto said dryly. But you really have to say it like that. Takashi scolded. You idiot. This is a pandemic. What do you want me to say? A pandemic? Shizuka asked. It's when an epidemic of infectious disease spreads. Saya explained, so, the same disease, which is no doubt the T-virus that infected people is spreading throughout the world. Like influenza? Takashi asked, but Saya shook her head. Like the Spanish flu of 1918, the Black Death of the 14th century, and the happening in 2008, right? Kyoto noted. Saya nodded, correct. So how did those diseases stop? Yuuki asked, twirling her bow in her fingers. There are a lot of theories, but Shizuka piped up, the reason why diseases like those die is because they killed so many that there were not enough people left to spread it. But in this case, Kyoko added, jerking her thumb to the window, the dead are moving around, reanimated by the T-virus, and attacking people. Then you are implying it has no reason to stop spreading? Siko asked. Shizuka nodded sadly. But it's hot outside. Miss Yuzu said optimistically, maybe their flesh will start decomposing and they'll fall apart. Takashi put a hand to his chin, that just might work. The problem with that is the duration of the process. Naruto countered, checking the others' guns to make sure they work. Shizuka, you're a doctor, so you should know. Well, during the summer, it takes around 22 days for some parts of the dead body to decompose. But during the winter, it can take months anyway, if we go to our homes. How do you know they'll even start to decompose? Saya interrupted her. What do you mean by that? An irritable Takashi asked. What she means is that the T-virus is a bioweapon. Naruto said, what if the zombies can't decompose, but mutate instead? Will you all please stop saying bad things that might come true? Ray shrieked, nearly blowing out Naruto's eardrum, can't this kind of conversation wait until we're out of the woodworks? Ray's right, Tashimi said, nodding quickly. I think we've rested long enough. Mizusu finished for her friend. What is important right now is quickly getting to Yuzu Island before we go to check on our families. Siko said, the last thing we need is for us to act on our own self-interests. We need to act as a team. United we stand, divided we fall. Yuuki smiled, what you said. Everyone heard a weapon cocked and turned to Naruto, who said, what are standing around for then? Pick your poison. Ray grabbed an extendable black spear and a knife, while Saya got herself a silencer. Yuuki prepared her suppressed SMG for action. Siko unsheathed her katana. Shizuka grabbed the bus keys and hugged her medical kit close to her. Tashimi and Miss Yuzu each grabbed a knife and a handgun. Kyoko got herself a mini SMG. Naruto gave Takashi his assault rifle and got himself a burst rifle. Then, he took out some silencer attachments and passed them out to the group. We should help survivors as our ability allows us to. Siko said. Naruto nodded, got it. How do we get out? Ray asked. The front is closet to the parking lot. Saya answered. Well then, Naruto booted the door opened, let's roll. Always, 5 minutes later. Just to confirm, you need not begin fighting unless it is inevitable. Refrain from fighting and when the opportunity arises. Siko told the group. From my observations, they can only walk and lunge and only respond to sound. Saya reported, additionally, they're powerful enough to break down a normal door. Once they get a hold of you, if you're not quick enough to counter or struggle, you're screwed, so be careful. Let's call those guys walkers then. Said Naruto, no doubt there'll be different types of zombies when time passes. Oh joy. Yuuki mumbled. A scream then rented the air and Naruto's group dashes to the sound to find 5 students, 3 guys and 2 girls, surrounded on a stairwell by the now dubbed walkers. Naruto and the other immediately gunned down the undead and went over to the students. Thank you, one of the girls said, who Miss Yuzu and Tashimi identified as Kawamoto, who's one of the new members of Shido's track team after the incident with Yuuki. She's a redhead with golden brown eyes, C-cup breasts, and wearing usual female uniform of Fujimi Academy. Out of the rest of the 5 students, Kyoko only recognized 2 by the name of Takuzo and Naomi. Takuzo has black hair, brown eyes, and wearing the male uniform of Fujimi Academy, with a sports towel hanging around his neck. Naomi has raven color hair with a dark blue hue, hazel eyes, freckles on her cheeks, C-cup breasts, and wearing the female uniform of Fujimi Academy. Not too loud now. Naruto chided, is there a person among you who's been bitten? Naomi shook her head fanatically, no. They really do look fine. Ray noted. Well then, Naruto addressed the students, wanna come with us? We're getting out of here and heading to a safe haven. Hi, Naruto-senpai. The students chorused. Naruto smirked and opened his duffel bag, choose your poison. Front door. The group of 15 huddled in a staircase where they viewed a large concentration of walkers near their escape route. The bunch of them are down there. Takashi noted. No shit, Sherlock. Yuuki replied sarcastically. What's the point of hiding here? Saya complained, they're blind. They use their ears, not their eyes. Oh really? Yuuki growled, then why don't you prove that theory 4 eyes? That shut Saya up. Seiko sighed, regardless, if we remain inside of the school, we will be unable to move once attacked. Damn. Rei gritted her teeth, no way out through the gate, huh? Chill out ladies. Naruto said, taking out a throwing knife, I got an idea. Naruto then got up and went down the stairs. Wait Naruto-senpai. Rei squeaked, where are you going? Naruto grumbled before replying, just testing our probie's theory. Naruto-senpai. Rei tried to follow, but Seiko stopped her. I understand how you feel, but you should trust Naruto-kun more. She said, just watch. Like an assassin walking across the Nightingale floor, Naruto used his shinobi training to quietly walk among the zombies. The others tensed when one of the walkers looked to bump into him, but passed him instead. Knowing that Saya's theory is confirmed, he took the throwing knife and threw it, jamming it into a metal locker. The walkers followed the sound, walked into the locker, and continued to bump into it. Naruto nodded to the others and slowly opened the front doors, motioning to the others to come. They quietly made their way out of the door, but one of the random students' IV pole that they were using as a weapon bumped into the metal banister, producing a sound wave that traveled all through the school grounds and shattered the eerie silence, much to everyone's horror. Run for it. Takashi shouted. The others did not need telling twice, but one just had to complain. Would you do that? Saya shrieked, if you hasn't yelled, we'd probably only have to worry about the ones close to us. She failed to notice a walker coming up from behind her, but Naruto shot it in the head, saving her. You idiot. Rei raged, are you deaf or didn't hear that echo? Enough talking. Naruto called out, just gun them down and run. The others complied and kept running, covering each other as they reloaded and bashed the zombies' skulls in. Some of the 5 random students like Takuzo and Naomi nearly got in trouble, but Naruto managed to save them from certain doom as they finally all made it to the bus. Shizuka, the key. Naruto shouted, turning to the school gate, damn. Gonna have to clear a path so that bus won't turn over. Shizuka opened the bus door and got in, followed by Toshimi and Miss Yuzu, the 5 students, Saya, Kyoko, and Rei. Meanwhile, Naruto, Yuuki, Seiko, and Takashi were still outside trying to clear the road. Seiko noticed everyone on the bus and called out to Naruto, they're all on. Excellent. You and Takashi get on. Me and Yuki-hime will follow. Alright. Just hurry you two. Naruto nodded as Takasho and Seiko got on the bus while Shizuka attempted to start it. Wah. This isn't like my car. She whined, the gas, the brake, the clutch. Help us. Wait. Kyoko cried out, there's more survivors coming this way, oh no. Outside, Yuuki uses some incendiary rounds, while Naruto unleashed a massive force push, creating a firestorm that incinerated the zombies near the school gate. That should do it. Yuuki cheered. We're ready to go. Shizuka called from the window, get in. Naruto and Yuuki made a beeline for the bus and closed the door behind them, unaware of several uninvited guests in the back of the bus. Punch it. Naruto yelled. Shizuka did not need telling twice, we're off. Iris skidding, the bus took off. To the gate. Saya shouted. I know. Shizuka gasped, trying to steel herself and gritted her teeth as she saw the zombies in front of her. They're not human anymore. She screamed, stepping on the gas. She ran over the zombies, sending them flying like bowling pins. A moment later, she busted through the school gates. The impact lifted the bus off its tires and nearly fell sideways. Shizuka managed to right it, the bus landing back on the ground and made a sharp turn down the road. That was too close. Kyoko said, voicing their thoughts, with the 2 BFFs nodding at that and the others sighed in relief. I would have to agree myself. That was too close for comfort. Naruto froze, along Yuuki, both praying to Kami-chan that person wasn't on the bus with them. Unfortunately, Kami was neck deep in paperwork for what was happening on the surface, so she couldn't hear Naruto or Yuuki over her misery. They turned to Seiko, who shook her head sadly. Making machine-like noises, they turned to the back of the bus to see the most hated man in all of Fujimi Academy, along with his posse, the track club. Shido. Yuuki growled out with hate, an evil aura surround her now and scaring anyone on the bus. Okay guys. Who's the moron who let this sack of shit on the bus? Naruto snarled out slowly, his voice promising pain on the offender. All the students on the bus except Shido paled considerably until Rei admitted her own dark aura and pointed at Takashi with her spear. They looked at the others in their group and they nodded their heads rapidly. Takashi's face was starting to drain of color when Naruto and Yuuki rounded on the idiot. Oh Takashi. Naruto grinned an evil grin as he cracked his knuckles, what the hell man? You know this guy's rep, right? But senpai, Takashi stood up and tried to explain, with everyone to Naruto's group now feeling sorry for the poor bastard, even so, we shouldn't leave any survivors behind, no matter what, right? Yuki's evil aura intensified as she started to unconsciously channel chakra and kai into her right foot, TAKASHI she started slowly, yes, we can save survivors, but there are exceptions that can get us killed. As she said this, she reared back her foot and shot it forward and upwards, sinking it into Takashi's groin. An unholy scream escaped the bus as it turned onto a different highway. End of Chapter 3. Chapter 04. Dead bus rollin'. School bus, Fujimi, Japan. Yuki has never been pissed off as bad as this before. And unfortunately, there are times whenever she gets pissed, she gets horny. Real horny. And only her boyfriend Naruto can cure that condition. But there's no way in hell she's gonna start going at it like a rabbit in heat when a man named Shido is on the same bus as them. 5 minutes has passed since Yuki cracked Takashi in the balls for his idiotic mistake and Takashi was still lying in his seat, holding his man bits. Some of the others in Naruto's group held no sympathy for the poor dumbus for his brainless decision. Meanwhile, Naruto himself managed to connect everyone's minds via telepathy so that they can have private conversations. It took a while, but it was well worth the effort. There was no way on God's green earth that he was going to let Shido eavesdrop on Naruto's meeting with his group. Okay everyone. He said, making almost all of them jump, use your thoughts to talk to each other privately from now on. We're all in the same default chat room, so sound off. MMF. Nice trick Naruto. Saya said in a sarcastic tone after a while, I'll ask you how you did that later, and I read you. Ray here, Naruto-senpai. Siko here. I hear you all loud and clearly. As do I, Kyoko said, folding her arms. Itoo Takashi squeaked, drawing smirks from the others. Once everyone else sounded off, Naruto began discussing his plan, alright my friends. Our objective is to get to my self-sustainable home that is Yuzu Island. But for now, we need a place to lay low until I can call on an evac chopper from Yuzu to be sent to us. Can't you call now? Saya asked, I mean, Spiral Corporation smartphones are state-of-the-art, right? Naruto shook his head, some kind of new and foreign signal interference is blocking the signal on my cell. It's just another glitch that needs to be fixed, but not in front of Shido team. True, but first Ashimi started. We need to ditch Shido, right? Miss Yuzu finished. Agreed. Ray and Yuki both agreed. Heads up. One the guys in Takuzo's group said, he's coming over near you, Siko-senpai he warned. Siko nodded mentally as she cleaned her bakken, I see him. She said as said man came up to her. Despite that earlier outburst, I thank you for saving us. He said, I take it that you've been appointed the leader, Usajima-san. Uh-oh. Yuki thought, clenching her bow staff, I think I know where this is going. Naruto smirked and looked over to Yuki, who was starting to rub her thighs together, what was your first clue, Haim? There's no such thing. We are without one. Siko responded, our group survival is simply the product of teamwork and trust. Well, that's no good. Shido said with a glint in his eye, a leader is required in order for us to survive. One who manages and bears everything, with valor and confidence. This statement made Ray growl as she turned to a recovered Takashi. You're going to regret this, Takashi. She said as a low, threatening voice, I guarantee that I'm gonna make you regret ever saving that sack of shit. Takashi would have responded, but the glares from the others told him to shut up. The city. Cried one of the students, prompting the other to look out the same window. The city was on its way to ruin. Fires sparked spontaneously, smoke billowed in the streets, and bullets mixed in with the screams of terror. How horrible, Kyoko whispered. Naruto nodded in agreement to think this is only the beginning. The hand gripped this arm, making Naruto turn to see Yuki's reddened face. Know that she would no longer keep her lust in check, he sighed and looked her straight in the eyes, whispering as his eyes turned light blue with 3 Tomo. Tsukiyomi. San Romero, California. That soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Leonardo DiCaprio. MOAN. Whirl. The sound of a chainsaw revved throughout the silent town that is San Romero. It was a peaceful and lively town, with the crime rate being non-existent. The people went on with their lives without a care in the world. Then everything changed when the zombies attacked. It was chaos. They suddenly appeared out of nowhere and started infecting people, turning them into one of their own. The poor humans stood no chance, and the town was close to being overrun. But there was hope in the form of a scantily clad San Romero high school student wielding a heavily modified chainsaw with a boyfriend's head as her partner. Her name is Juliet Starling, a sweet peppy blonde-haired 18-year-old San Romero cheerleader and a descendant of zombie slayers wielding her bedazzled chainsaw. It was supposed to be just another normal day for Juliet, except for the fact that this day was her 18th birthday and she was meeting her boyfriend, the variety jock, Nick Carlisle, who was going to meet her family for the first time. Unfortunately, it was not to be. As soon as she got to the school on her bike, she saw the zombies were running wild and she had to fight off hordes of undead on her way to meet Nick. When she arrived, she discovers Nick fighting off a zombie that was trying to eat her, so Nick was bitten in her place. Knowing that he'll become a zombie, Juliet decided to decapitate him and use an ancient ritual to save him, reviving him as a severed talking head and attaches Nick's head to her belt. Hiding her way through the school, she met up with her tutor, Morikawa, who explained the situation. Someone has opened up a portal between their world and the rotten world, an infernal dimension where lesser demons and pure zombies resides using a combination of black magic and explosives. They set off to find the culprit. After narrowly escaping a trap that would have blown her to smithereens, they find the culprit to be Juliet's and Nick's classmate, an evil goth named Swan. He summons zombies to distract Juliet as he successfully summoning 5 powerful zombie overlords from Rotten World who are themed around rock and roll. Morikawa tries to stop him, but is fatally wounded. All 4 of the zombie overlords scattered around the town, the first one, Zed, goes after Juliet. During the battle, Zed tries to rape Juliet, but the cheerleader manages to avoid his attempts and killed him, sending him back to the rotten world. After that, Morikawa tells her to purify the town and kill the 4 remaining overlords before dying. Intent on ending the chaos, Juliet and Nick goes around San Romero hunting down the 4 remaining overlords, while receiving assistance and advice from her sisters Cordelia Starling, the elder one who's skilled with sniper rifles, and Rosalind Starling, the younger sister who's a psychopath. Along with their father Gideon Starling, a retired old-school zombie hunter. One by one, Juliet defeated the remaining zombies overlord Swan summoned, but upon their death, they utter an incantation like Zed did. Upon ending the final zombie overlord, Swan appeared and reveals that he used Juliet like a pawn, hoping that she would kill the demons so that the true zombie overlord can arrive in their world. He also revealed that the other students made him who he is through bullying and torture, and that Juliet's romantic involvement with Nick pushed him over the edge. Essentially, the zombie outbreak was his act of vengeance against the students and society for making him an outcast. Juliet tries to reason with him, but he shoots himself into the head to complete the ritual and is absorbed along with the rest of the undead in the town, turning into the so-called zombies of all zombies, Killably. Juliet, along with Nick, Cordelia, Rosalind, and Gideon, battle Killably, seemingly doing no damage to it at all. But Morikawa's ghost contacts Juliet and tells her that the only way to destroy Killably is to destroy it from within. Relaying the message, her sister kept Killably distracted while Juliet headed to the highest rooftop. Gideon then ran his motorcycle packed with explosives into Killably's face, jumping off to save himself, while Juliet enters the mouth of Killably before it could regenerate. She lands in the demon's stomach, where in his heart, she and Nick encounters Swan's headless corpse. She realizes that she must place Nick's head on Swan's body to kill Killably. Nick resigns to his fate and persuades Juliet to do it, who tearfully does so. They express their love for each other, and Nick sacrifices himself to make Killably explode and save humanity. Juliet mourns Nick's death, but the latter came back to life in his original body for his bravery, courage, and honor. They're reunited with Juliet's family, and they made their way home for Juliet's birthday party. When they arrived, they found Juliet's mom acting strangely, but fooled them and bought out a birthday cake. Juliet's party went swimmingly. Then Gideon noticed his wife's bandaged arm. Just when he was about to ask about it when they got to the presents and explosions suddenly rocked the neighborhood. They went outside to find zombies different from the one they've encountered earlier, walking the streets. The zombies they fought are running, not to mention talking smack. But these zombies were walking slowly and just moaning. Before they could figure out what's going on, the nightmare happened. There were several loud crashes in the house and a mangled scream. Juliet whipped around find her house overrun with zombies, and her mother turned and infecting her father. Before she could cry out in sorrow, the zombies overran and attacked her family and infected them, along with Nick, as an explosion suddenly engulfed the house, knocking Juliet into the backyard and making her black out from the pain. When Juliet awoke, her found herself in the woodshed in the backyard of her home, along with her chainsaw and Nick's present. Remembering what happened, she kicked the door open to find her home, along with the neighborhood, in flames. The only sound beside from the roaring flames was the loud moaning of the undead. She ran to the front, calling for her family and Nick until she found a note on the mailbox. She read it to find that her loved one were gone and tasked Juliet to find the source of this new outbreak and end it, leaving behind a drawing of a logo of a certain company. Tears in her eyes, she opened Nick's present to find a pack of luxury lollipops for her. Realizing what she's truly lost, she screamed out in sorrow. Back to the present, we find Juliet Starling at the border of her hometown. It's been a week since the deaths of her family and Nick, and it resulted in her change of attitude. Her heart has frozen, turning her cold, dark, uncaring, and now mainly wears her skin-tight pink rider costume that covers everything except her cleavage and belly, and wears heels. Because of this change in personality, she has lost the ability to love. She now has one purpose, and that is to end this crisis so that her family can rest in peace. And as she got on and revved up her new pink and black motorcycle, she knew that she has to get to her parents' old friends in Japan. They were her second family, the Uzumaki clan. And her only siblings in all but blood, the Uzumaki Namikaze siblings. With that, she took off, revenge on her mind. School bus, Fujimi, Japan. Splat. Woohoo. That was a nice one. Do it again. Ashimi and Miss Yuzu were currently badgering Shizuka to run over a few more zombies after she ran over one that was inching towards the local convenience store, quietly though because of a sleeping Yuuki with a smile on her face as she leaned against Naruto. Now girls, let Shizuka-sensei focus on driving. Kyoko chided but knew that they were trying to lighten the mood. To be honest, she hates Shido with a passion. She remembered the times when she wrote him up repeatedly for harassing the schoolgirls but had to stop when she was threatened with termination due to his political involvement. Shit. Shouted one of the students who was rescued along with Shido, we'll never make it if we keep going like this. First off, why do we have to go with Uzumaki and the others and do whatever you guys plan to do? You all decided to go back to the city without asking us. Couldn't we have just looked for a safe place inside the school? If ask me, we were better off where we were. As Shizuka and Kyoko's eyebrows twitched with annoyance, Naruto rolled his eyes. Honestly, he could care less about the students' complaints. He and Siko identified the dirtbag as Sonoda, one of the members of the school's track team and a bully who Naruto had to deal with twice. He has brown and yellow hair, brown eyes, and wears the regular male Fujimi High School uniform. Oddly enough, he wears slippers instead of regular shoes. He's right. We should find a place to hide, like that convenience store we just passed by and barricade ourselves in. His buddy agreed, who Naruto and Siko also identified as a nobody named Maruyama Kurakami with long black hair. He used to bully Kota in the past, but his actions were usually stopped by SIDC. Unfortunately, all the bickering from the two lowlifes made Shizuka snap. She slammed on the brakes, making everyone jerk forward as the bus came to a complete halt. Taking off her seatbelt, she whipped around, her large breasts bouncing about. Enough is enough. She shouted angrily, I can't focus on driving with all of you yelling. What the hell? Yeah, whatever. Sonoda grumbled. Siko sighed, then what do you wish to do? We already have our own agenda, so what is the problem? She asked coldly. I can't stand this guy. Sonoda shouted, pointing at Naruto, I hate his guts. Naruto just looked at him before he started and sniggered, Really? I'm terribly sorry. The blonde gave a trolling laugh as he pried himself from Yuuki and got up, narrowing his eyes at Sonoda. You'll have to forgive me, but even I find it hard to believe that a guy can't stand me due to the fact that yours truly stopped him and his buddies from raping a fellow teammate. What say you, mate? Naruto replied mockingly, cracking his knuckles. Why you? Sonoda lunged at Naruto, his fist flying towards the Uzumaki. Naruto sidestepped it and shoved the back of his head, making Sonoda trip. Pathetic piece of trash as usual. Naruto taunted in a bored tone as Sonoda got back up. Oh, you fuck up now. Sonoda snapped, ever since that time, I've been watching Enter the Dragon and the Karate Kid and learning her moves. Really? Naruto was unimpressed, well, how about I go rid on your ass? Oh yeah? Well, time to enter Tsunoda-sama's house of pain. Let's go, bitch. He lunged at Naruto again, but Naruto stepped to the side again, holding out his arm with Tsunoda running into it and getting floored. Rule number 1 of engagement, ladies, gentlemen, and assholes. Naruto stated, holding up one finger, never be too eager to engage an opponent with more stats than you. What is this? A video game? Saya asked sarcastically as her and others watched Tsunoda getting up, shaking. He threw a punch at the back of Naruto's head, but the blonde whipped around and caught by his wrist. He bent it backward, making Tsunoda scream in pain like a little girl, making Yuuki jerk awake and look around wildly before her eyes settled on the sight before her. From this position, it is relatively easy to manipulate your opponent. As Naruto said this, he went under Tsunoda's arm, still holding Tsunoda's wrist, and held it behind his back with a crack. Thus we have the chicken wing. WW God. The students in his group laughed while the student in Shido's group looked in horrid fascination. Naruto then held Tsunoda's arm out with a hand on his bicep, holding it in place with a crack. The armbar. Ow. Next, Naruto twisted it vertically, making Tsunoda finally tap out in pain. The crowbar. Or my personal favorite. A muff. Naruto gave a smile-like sneer, picking Tsunoda's 2 fingers into the bully's own mouth, aptly called. The pacifier. Almost everyone on the bus couldn't help but howl with laughter. Shizuka failed to suppress a giggle, Kyoko tried hard not to laugh along, and Shido just shook his head while his fellow group of survivors did nothing. Naruto then turned to Ray and jerked his head to the side, "Move, Ray." Ray nodded and hopped to the next seat where Yuuki is, who's silently reaching for her bow and taking joy in the fact that Naruto's knocking Tsunoda down a few more pegs. Naruto grabbed Tsunoda's leg and flapjacked him onto the vacant seat, making him land face first. He then wrapped the bully's left arm and leg in his own arms and applied a submission move. "You see, kicking ass is a joy." As Naruto pulled, Tsunoda wailed in pain like a little baby. Naruto then relented and pulled him up onto his shoulders. He popped him up and kicked Tsunoda square in his chest, sending him into the back seat. "Now piss off," Naruto said, dusting his hands and looked out the window, paling as he saw a city bus on fire seed their way. "Floor it," he yelled to Shizuka, who didn't waste time and slammed her foot on the gas pedal. Nearly everyone screamed as the bus shot forward, narrowing, missing the flaming bus now infested with zombies as it exploded into the nearby tunnel. "That was too close," Takashi breathed out. "No kidding," Saya shrieked, "it's because you idiots were distracted by two." "Saya, shut up," Naruto snarled, silencing the school genius, who resorted to pouting, "and Shizuka-chan, no matter what, keep driving," he added. Shizuka blushed at the Chan title being added to her name, but not at all the same. Now then Naruto started, but sensed Tsunoda charging at him again. Before he could act, Tsunoda was suddenly stuck in the stomach by the butt end of Rei's black spear, Yuki's bow staff, and the tip of Seiko's bakken. Tsunoda immediately threw up his lunch as he sailed back to the back of the bus again, hacking up blood and spit when he landed. "You suck, asshole," Rei said with glaring eyes. "What a pathetic man," Seiko said coolly as she sat back down. "That's felt good," Yuki added with a sadistic smile. Naruto sighed, rubbing the back of his head, "Girls after my own heart," he mumbled, with Yuki stick her tongue out at him. Before the joking would go further, clapping is heard as their least favorite person stepped over a prone Tsunoda and approached them. At this, Toshimi and Miss Yuzu groaned. "Bravo. Simply outstanding and splendid." Shido praised the girls, albeit mockingly, "Miyamoto-san, Miku-san, Usajima-san, that was some excellent teamwork. I'm actually impressed and commend all three of you. But conflict like that simply proves what I stated earlier." Naruto and his group narrowed their eyes as the scumbag continued. "We really do need a leader. We do. Do you understand? Certainly none of you want such a difficult responsibility like that on your shoulders, right?" Saya adjusted her glasses with her other hand on her electric drill, "And there's only one person who can do the deed, and you're gonna run for the position then, correct?" "Well, Takagi-san," Shido said, leaning towards herself with the genius scooting back, "I'm a teacher and the rest of you are students. Well, all of you are mature, you guys are barely in your teens. That alone should be clear enough to say who's more qualified for such a role. I have experience." "Excuse me, sensei, there's other teacher on this bus," Toshimi stated. "And she right here." Miss Yuzu finished, pointed at Kyoko, who glared at Shido. "What would hope to accomplish by being a leader, Shido-san?" she asked in a deadly voice. "I accomplished much if that's what you mean. Besides, just a while ago, I saved all of these brave students. If I was the leader, I would prevent conflict," Shido declared, his arms out in a dramatic way. "What do you all say, guys?" Tsunoda looked at Shido with hope on his eyes and nodded. Kawamoto, the one with Takuzo's group who is on the track team, and her friend, Taneuchi, also on the same team, got up and clapped. Kurakami and Miura, another student, got up and clapped as well. However, only one student in Shido's group didn't clap or share his joy. Despite this, Shido gave a dramatic bow and stood up with his arms out. "Well, that's that. I've become the leader based on a majority vote." Rei shook with rage. She was about to head towards the door and leave when Yuki grabbed her arm and threw her next to a seated Saya. "Don't you dare do anything stupid, Rei," Yuki snapped. "We know who the true leader of our group is, and that hasn't changed." She looked at Naruto, who nodded reassuringly at Rei with a smile. Rei stiffened and looked at the group member, who also nodded. "Don't let that scumbag get to you. We're here for each other," Naruto said, putting a hand on her shoulder. "Understand, Rei?" After a moment, Rei nodded and relaxed. "Idiot. She was gonna jump from a movie vehicle. How stupid is she?" Saya mumbled, shaking her head as Naruto turned to Shido. "Whatever gets your jollies off, you fucking ass," Naruto said coolly as he sat back down and learned how to count too. Shido looked confused as Naruto and his group silently laughed at his expense. California. Juliet looked up to see a small plane flying dangerously low and close to her. She frowned when she saw Umbrella's signature logo on it. She was then surprised to see the back door open and flying in front of her. Juliet looked closely and saw that the people inside the plane looked nothing like Umbrella's employees. With that in mind, she revved the engine and used a car as a ramp to jump her and her motorcycle into the plane. It closed its cargo door behind her as it flew away. School bus, Fujimi, Japan, highway, 11:45 p.m. It's dangerous outside. Don't get out of your car under any circumstances. I repeat, don't get out of your car under any circumstances. It's been several hours since the incident on the bus where all the survivors of Fujimi Academy are now currently stuck in a traffic jam. While most of Naruto's group were dozing off with Naruto himself watching over them, Shido was preaching to his own on how he'll be the one to lead them to salvation and all that jazz. It was pissing Naruto and his group off to no end, and worse, one of Takuzo's group members, Kawamoto, decided to believe in Shido more than Naruto. Because of her change in allegiance, she was cut off from Naruto's chat room, with memories of their plan suppressed in her mind. Saya muttered to the others. We're progressing at roughly 1 kilo an hour. I wonder if we can even make over the bridge before morning at this rate. Kyoko mumbled. We'll see. Yuki said, as they witnessed several cops shooting down walkers. And it was scaring the girls in Shido's group as they held their heads. They're there. Awamoto and Taneuchi looked up to see Shido leaning towards them. We're safe in here. He said, hugging the girls, we'll be okay. Sensei. There's nothing to worry about, Shido continued with a sinister look on his face behind their backs, we'll be okay. Thus action drew looks of disgust from the members of Naruto's group who were all at the front of the bus, away from Shido's group. Knowing that they will have to stay on the bus for the night, Naruto and Siko arranged to take turns watching Shido's group while their friends get some shut-eye. The next day, 1:45 p.m. That's right. Thus, instead of acting out of self-interest, we need to find a safe place and move as a group. For example, we shouldn't all go check on our families until we become an organized group. In fact, I think the number one thing for us right now is laying down a foundation for our group. I hope he doesn't mean us. Kyoko said, scowling. Hell no. Naruto said, he thinks we're with him, but we're not. Let him spew his drivel to those who want to believe him. He said, watching the people outside the bus walk in the same direction as the other cars. Naruto-senpai Toshimi started, pointing out the window. Did we just see the police water hose a rowdy couple into the water? Miss Yuzu finished. Naruto looked out the window and shrugged, so you did. And you want us to walk in that chaos? Ray dryly asked. You had no trouble trying to do so yesterday. Naruto shot back, embarrassing and shutting Ray up. As members of Fujimi Academy, it's during trying times like these that we must keep our pride. Shido exclaimed dramatically, let's stick together in order to survive, like the family we now are. Talk about hell, and how ironic that we're on Route 666. Takashi joked, shaking his head. He's seriously insane, like a goddamn maniac. Saya noted. Indeed. Siko agreed. What was your first clue? Yuki deadpanned. Let us work together and triumph. Shido continued as the others had their private conversation. Shido-sensei. Exclaimed the girls in his group. You got that right. He's comparable to a recruitment officer for a religious cult. Siko said. Are you serious? That's exactly what he's doing. Saya said, just look at those slobbering idiots who are buying into his crap. I'd say he's got them hooked. Naruto grumbled, I mean, look at their eyes. They're the same. They're now a cult, marking the birth of the new Shido religion. Just great. You mean a cult of slobbering idiots that now hang on his every word, like a bunch of Scientologists or rather, Shidotologists. Saya joked. Heh, nice one, Saya. Naruto-kun Shizuka piped up. Yes, Shizuka-chan. We're actually near my friend Rika's house now. Just thought you should know. She said, blushing at the given title again. Naruto nodded, excellent. What are you thinking, Naruto-san? Kyoko asked. We're getting off now. Naruto simply stated. What? Takashi yelled, are you crazy? This bus is the only transportation we have and will keep us safe from them. Inside voice please. Siko chided, smacking him on the back his head. And continue to deal with Shido. Not on your life, jabroni. Naruto snarled, Shizuka-chan, how far is your friend's house? About 3 miles, across the Onbetsu Bridge. And I see the bridge from here right now. Shizuka answered, discreetly pointing in the direction. Good. I'll wake the others up right now. Naruto said, focusing on the spirits of Takuzo's group and applied a little spark, jolting all 4 of them awake. Good thing he warned them that he would do it if he needed them, so they won't cry out and alert Shido. Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey everyone. Naruto said, the bus is still stuck in a traffic jam, so get your stuff, because we're leaving. Shizuka's friend's house is just 3 miles away. So we're walking. Takuzo and Naomi asked, are you sure about this, Naruto-senpai? Do you have guns and bullets? Naruto asked, eyebrows twitching. The student paled and nodded. Then you'll be fine. Naruto assured them. He's right. Siko said, Shido can't have the bus anyways. It's stuck in this traffic jam and will slow him down for a while. Plus, due to the sounds, it hasn't been serviced in a while. Wow, how deliciously evil, Siko-san. Saya said, her eyebrow twitching. Siko smiled, I learned from the best. Naruto nodded that she did, along with Yuki Haim here. He added, pointed at the orange tea, making her blush. So, are we going or not? The group turned to Shizuka, who engaged the emergency brake and stood up, the far away from this bus the better. To be honest, I hate Shido-sensei. He's an absolute total douchebag, she said with a dark glare, surprising everyone with her choice words for said douchebag because of what happened. You're fine now. Yuki said, smiling, me, Siko-chan, and Naruto-kun saved you, remember? Siko nodded, I remember that all too well. What are you guys talking about? Ray asked. Not many people know about it, but that's a story for another time. Naruto said, getting up, I think we're wasted enough time here. We're getting out, crossing the Onbetsu bridge, and heading to Rika-sen's house for evac. Now let's roll. Hi. Everyone in his group confirmed. What's the matter, you guys? Uh-oh. Naruto and his group looked up and turned to find that Shido finally noticed them huddling together. We should work together, you know. Shido said reproachably, otherwise, none of us are ever going to. Saya stood up to interrupt him, thanks, but no thanks, Shido-sensei. Like we said yesterday, we've got our own agenda and you and your misfits are not included in our exclusive party. She's right. Kyoko said, ignoring the angry looking on Shido's group's faces, and Fee, this isn't a school field trip, so we have absolutely no reason to stay with you. Shido raised an eyebrow, trying to intimate the others with his sinister glare, oh. I see. To his surprise, Naruto and his group were not fazed in the slightest, nor were they amused. Relenting, Shido put his hands together, if you've all decided to leave, then feel free to do so. Japan is the land of the free after all, not some iron-fisted dictatorship. Kukuku, but however. Naruto's group shivered with disgust when they saw Shido lick his lips. I'm not seeing things, Naruto thought, paling, that's Orochimaru's pedo look. No thank you. But what? Takashi frowned, not liking the look that Shido was giving. I'm afraid that you'll have to remain here, Marikawa-sensei. Shizuka gasped and jumped back, her breasts bouncing around as Ray gritted her teeth. In this situation, losing our medic would be very problematic and major blow to our current situation. Shido explained, so, how about it? Won't you stay? He asked, adjusting his glasses and walking toward them, these students are relying on you after all. The next party was not expecting at all, because the next thing Shido knew, there were multiple firearms cocked, locked, loaded, and pointing at him, making him step back. Then Naruto-kun. You do realize that with a word, me and my friends here can honeycomb your ass right here and now. Naruto snarled, we live in a new world now, and your political status doesn't mean jack shit anymore. So one more step and I give the word. No one will miss you in this hell on earth. Nah, Naruto-kun, that's. Naruto gave a Saki, killing intent enhanced glare, rooting Shido to the spot. I know why you really want Shizuka-chan. He revealed, it's elementary. She may be a medic, but it's her physical assets that you want. You licking your lips was a dead giveaway. No, we will never give you Shizuka-chan. After what your boys tried to do to her on that day, SIDC made it a priority to not let you or your cronies near Shizuka-chan. Even in his now hellish world, it remains so. Naruto-kun, Shizuka whispered, tears flowing from her eyes. Kyoko smiled. Maybe Naruto, despite his age, is the man for Shizuka after all. Maybe for herself as well. You can have the bus. Naruto said, we got something else in mind, and like Saya said, you're not included. Team, if you wanna go, now's the time. I'll cover you. Soon, the bus was half empty, with Naruto and Yuki remaining on board to make sure their group was off the bus. Wait. Naruto frowned at the student who called out to him. He was Yamada, a member of the track team, but not like the others. Can I come with you, please? This man is crazy. He said, pointing at a shocked Shido, plus, I just wanna find my parents. Naruto looked at his with soul-searching eyes while Yuki filled in her 2 cents, he did try to help me, but was threatened by Shido's political influence. He's clean. Yamada. You traitor. Sonoda roared, starting forward, but was kept at bay by Naruto's assault shotgun. Come on then. We don't have all day. Naruto said coolly, you'll have to earn my trust though. Thank you senpai. Yamada bowed as Yuki escorted him off the bus. But the last teammate off board, Naruto backed away to the entrance, his eyes on Shido, just remember this you prick, I, including Ray and Yuki Haim, could have killed you for all the shit you caused, but that would have been too easy, so I spared your life, on a fucking whim. So if I were you, I would hope that we wouldn't meet again, because next time, I can't guarantee anything. But that parting shot, Naruto jumped off the bus and slammed the door shut. Let's go. He said, leading his group of survivors up the nearby stairs and to the bridge. Up and live everybody, for one day only, we dine, in hell. End of chapter 4. Chapter 05. Walking Among the Dead. Hijacked plane California airspace. Somewhere else over the skies of California, a plane stolen from Umbrella was making a beeline to the Pacific Ocean after refueling. The plane contained the survivors of Raccoon City's destruction. Alice, a retired 25-year-old former Umbrella security operative, placed at a mansion located in the Arklay Mountains to protect the entrance of a top-secret underground laboratory called the Hive. She had a fake marriage to a man named Spence Parks to protect the secrecy of the Hive's existence. Reino Campo, a 23-year-old former member of Umbrella's Special Forces Commando Unit. She has an extremely volatile confrontational personality and was formerly a member of the Los Angeles Police Department SWAT division under the name Chris Sanchez. Lisa Addison, a computer programmer who infiltrated Umbrella to gather evidence to expose them after their products aided in killing a dear friend of hers. Chris Redfield, a tough guy who's a former US military pilot and a member of the Raccoon City Police's Elite Special Tactics and Rescue Services Alpha Team, ACA STARS. Jill Valentine, a former explosives expert of Raccoon City Police's STARS Alpha Team and an anti-Umbrella renegade. She was a rising star in the STARS organization before the Arklay Mountains Mansion incident. Leon Scott Kennedy, a rookie cop in Raccoon City's police force. Claire Redfield, a civilian who is Chris Redfield's little sister. Carlos Oliveira, a former Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Force operative who was the member of the Alpha Squad within the Delta Platoon and was the team's heavy weapons specialist. Barry Burton, a former airman in the US Air Force who's a member of STARS and the backup mean for Alpha Team, in charge of maintaining and supplying weapons. Rebecca Chambers, an 18-year-old rookie member of STARS Bravo Team, in charge of rear security and serving as the team's medic. She is a child prodigy and was able to graduate from college at the age of 18. Perry Morales, a disgraced news reporter for the Raccoon City TV news station Raccoon 7, who always carries around a video camera. Lloyd Jefferson L.J. Wayne, an unwitting survivor who's a former Walmart employee and scam artist who owns dual gold-plated Desert Eagles. Sherry Birkin, daughter of William Birkin, creator of the G-Virus. She was originally infected with the virus until Claire gave her an antivirus, preventing her from mutating. Angela Angie Aspen, daughter of Charles Ashford, acquaintance of the Uzumacus and creator of the T-Virus. She, like Alice, successfully bonded with the T-Virus, I bet she possesses a different strain of the virus. Long story short, everyone went through hell caused by Umbrella Corporation and its AI, the Red Queen down in the Hive and in the streets of Raccoon City. After escaping Raccoon City's destruction, their escape plane crashed and Umbrella captured Alice. The others managed to escape and went on a rescue mission, successfully retrieving Alice from Umbrella's Detroit, Michigan facility. They then had to restrain Alice due to them learning that Umbrella put a control device on her when she tried to kill Sherry and Angie. Before she did, she mentioned that they should head to Japan to where Yuzu Island is, where they'll be safe and where they can cure her condition. The ride was uneventful, unless you can count them Jill picking up an extra passenger known as Juliet Starling, who was also on her way to Yuzu Island. She had a beacon on her motorcycle that allowed the others to pinpoint her location. Right now, most of the passengers were asleep except for Chris who was now operating the plane. Thanks to a stop in an abandoned airplane field, they managed to refuel and fly off, now having enough fuel to get to Yuzu Island. He and the other could only hope that Alice is right about Yuzu Island and they don't get shot down on sight because of Umbrella logo on their plane. Tokunosu Offshore International Airport. I'm done checking the passengers. None of them seem to be showing any of the symptoms, nor do any of them have a fever or any injuries. Nor are they already dead. Your family lives in Tokyo. No one answered the phone. Tokunosu Tower, JX089. Ready for takeoff. JX089, Tokunosu Tower. Hold on runway 3-4. We have a problem. The jumbo plane is scheduled to depart with survivors, but the runway is currently infested with zombies, hence the problem. He looks repulsive. He's a Korean actor named Bae Young-jun. He was on location here for filming. Distance. 4500. Angle. -6. Wind. Favorable. Corrections. None. Permission to fire. Granted. The loud shot sounded off around the on-ocean airport. With the bullet hitting its mark, the target losing its head. Several more shots sounded off with bullets flying, dropping more of its targets. Good work. All of the targets on the runway have been eliminated. Over and out. Wiping his brow, Tajima, an officer in the Prefectural Police 1st Squadron, sighed loudly. He has a scar above his right eye, wears a white cap, a police uniform with full bodysuit, knee and elbow pads, and a bulletproof vest. He looked over to see his partner stand up and sigh. "What are you doing?" he asked with an amused look. "My girls are numb. I've been laying down here since this morning." The complainer, Minami Rika, stretched. She's a tanned female with purple hair tied in a ponytail, red eyes, D-cup breasts, and wearing a black combat suit, a bulletproof vest, a white choker, and dark shooting glasses. If you don't mind, I could massage them for you. Tajima offered. Rika laughed as she took off her bulletproof vest. I would if you were a better shot than me. Tajima grumbled, but you're one of the top 5 officers in our whole country. That's no fair. Rika giggled, you'd better give up then. Tajima shook his head. Anyway, how did those things even get here? We're at a seaside airport that can only be reached by ship. Haven't they been restricting entry? Rika nodded as she and her partner watched the plane take off. Yeah. Only high-ranking officials and airport technicians as well as their families are allowed in. One of them must have been infected. The situation is under control right now, but who knows how long that'll last. What do you think would have happened to this place if we hadn't been assigned here due to terrorist threats? Tajima wondered. Well, I don't have infinite ammo. You're gonna run away? Rika asked, taking off her glasses. Not planning on it. Tajima countered. Well, not yet. Well, I'm gonna head to the city. Rika decided while taking off her jacket, revealing her white sports bra, eventually. What, you have a guy there? Tajima asked, his heart sinking. Rika smirked, just one, along with a couple of friends. Tokanosu City, Japan. Naruto and his group were currently crossing the Onbetsu Bridge, gunning down any undead that got near them. On occasion, Naruto would fire off a force push, keeping the zombies away, while Yuuki and Takashi threw some incendiary grenades to fry the zombies to a crisp. During the battle, a jet flew by and took a picture of the group fighting off the undead. Is that jet from Yuzu? Saya asked, shooting a zombie in the head with her handgun. No. Naruto responded while reloading, it didn't have Spiral Corporation's logo. But someone will come and help us, right? Ray asked while kicking some zombies away. Of course. Naruto replied, cocking his rifle, but until I fix my phone, we're on our own. That jet that flew by won't help us. Plus, the helicopters you mentioned at school. Same deal. No one will bother to help one group of survivors since this crisis is happening everywhere. In fact, it might take a miracle too. A miracle? Ray repeated, then how are we going to make it through this? For now we do what we can and head to Shizuka's friend's house. Naruto said, just as he and his group reached the end of the bridge. 3 miles, right? Yuuki groaned, we'll have to exercise caution. There are other groups than zombies and other survivors out there. Like what? A scared Toshimi and Miss Yuzu asked. Prisoners. Gangs. Maybe other cults that are worse than Shido's developing one. Kyoko responded, making the 2 BFFs shiver. Let's just go. Saya said, with the others agreeing. Night fell quickly. Naruto's group was at the end of their rope. They had to deviate from their path a dozens times due to the crazies that Kyoko previously mentioned. Twice Takashi wanted to play the hero to save other survivors from said group, but it could be too late as the noises the groups makes attracted the undead. Burgle. Naruto mentally groaned and turned to his group. They were both physically and mentally tired, not to mention hungry and thirsty. Snack break. He suggested, pointing to a nearby gas station. Do we even have time for a pit stop? Saya asked, but her stomach sounded off as well. Guess we do. The group walked into the barren self-serve Sean gas station, where it had a regular car, a motorcycle and a police car. Alright. Naruto clapped his hands together, Takuzo and Naomi, you and your 2 friends search that car for supplies with Seiko Haim. Takashi, Ray, Saya and Yumoda, you search the police car and don't trip the siren or alarm. Yuuki Haim, Shizuka-chan, Kyoto-sensei, Toshimi, Miss Yuzu, you're with me. In addition to getting food, we're going to search the store. For what? Toshimi and Miss Yuzu asked. Anything that'll be useful. Naruto confirmed, even if it's money and first aid supplies. And before you guys complain, we're in a new world, a world where our old morals won't mean jack shit. Everyone shifted uncomfortably, but not at all the same. Excellent. You all have your instructions, so get going. Let's be gone in 5 minutes and be quiet about it. As everyone got moving, Takuzo asked, can we take the cars? We can't fit everyone in them. Seiko said as she got out a knife to fiddle with the lock on the car, besides, we're a click away from Shizuka-sen's friend's house and a car will only draw unwanted attention. Oh. Takuzo nodded understanding as Seiko broke the lock. I wondered if this station still have gas. Ray wondered as she opened the police car. Every gas station has at least enough gas to fill up about 1,000 cars. Takashi said as he looked around and found a nightstick and a revolver. This is heavier than I thought it'd be. He muttered to himself. Well, if a person has a car, they'll be out of luck because this is a self-serve station. Yumoda noted, but then noticed something flash in the corner of his eye, making him look around. What was that? Meanwhile in the store, Naruto was busy grabbing bottles of water for everyone, while Kyoko helped Shizuka gather medical supplies, and Yuuki had a blast breaking open the cash register. However, Miss Yuzu was chasing to shimmy around the door due to an argument with her about that snacks to get for everyone. Naruto snapped and was about to reprimand them when a loud scream echoed throughout the station. "Hey, stop squirming you bitch. What's wrong?" Siko shouted, heading to the police car where the scream came from and drawing her katana to find Rei held hostage at knife point by a man with tan skin, braces, and wearing a t-shirt, basketball shorts, laceless sneakers, and a Rolex. Naruto, Yuuki, Miss Yuzu, Toshimi, Shizuka, and Kyoko ran out with the stuff they gathered to see the others with their guns out and pointing at the thug, who was now looking scared, not expecting the others to have firearms, but then laughed. "I've seen this guy before in the neighborhood," Naruto thought, aiming his samurai edge at the nameless thug. He was washing his car with his younger sister a week ago. "Hey you guys. This girl's quite the hot piece of ass." The thug laughed. "You're making a huge mistake buddy." Yuuki snarled, "There's several of us and one of you. Guess how it ends. Let her go, right now." Takashi demanded, pointing the newfound revolver at the thug. "You dumb? Like hell I'd do that." The thug growled, "If I want to survive in this zombie-filled world, I'll need a woman. Beside, you think I'd go for one of those stinkin' zombie bitches? Think again motherfucker. Boy, do you need a hobby." Naruto said, keeping his gun trained on the thug who laughed again. "Are you insane?" Saya snarled at the thug, "You need a weapon and a will to live if you want to survive in this world." "Don't bother." Naruto said in a low voice, "I can tell from his aura. Kami-chan knows he's long gone insane." The thug laughed at that, "Looks like you have more fucking brains than your friends." "Hell yeah I'm fucking insane. My family all turned into those things right in front of my eyes." Everyone flinched as he continued his rant. "I had to smash every single one of their heads. My father, my mother, my grandmother, my little brother even my sister too, who's still in elementary school. After that, how could I be normal eh? You think I wouldn't be fucked up after that ha 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 ha." He finished with another insane laugh, making everyone feel uncomfortable despite his story. "If we weren't in this situation, I would have felt sorry for this young man," Kyoko said quietly. "Kinda hard to now." Saya said loudly, "There's no excuse for this." Naruto growled. He would have given the order to shoot, but the thug had the knife pointed at Rei in a way that if the thug was shot, the knife would slit Rei's throat completely, making her die within seconds. The other knew it too, because they were looking at Naruto for a signal. While Naruto could revive Rei with his powers even if she was killed, he'd rather her not die anyway. Despite the blood of a god swimming in his veins, he is not a god and doesn't intend to play one. Gonna find a way to get the knife away from Rei. His mind's unstable for the GD mind trick to work. What else is there? The thug suddenly gropes Rei's breast, making her cry out in pain. "Hey!" Yuuki shrieked, her finger itching to pull the trigger as she watched the thug lick Rei's cheek. "Watch your hands, asshole." Her tits and her voice are mighty fine. "And these are pretty big. Quite a handful there. Hey, you're fucking her every day and night, ain't you blondie?" "No." Naruto answered flatly, finally coming up with a plan, with the cost being one of his secrets revealed. Who cares, since he's officially pissed off at the thug fondling his charge. "Holy shit you haven't. Are you an idiot?" The thug roared as he attempted to take off Rei's uniform. "What a fucking Naruto-senpai." She cried. Naruto stepped forward, "Hey buddy, listen. Don't move." The thug yelled, "If you don't toss away your gun, this slut's dead." He growled, raising the knife away from Rei's throat and putting it near her face, "And give me your bike too." "Too bad, it's not ours moron." Yuuki said angrily, "Plus it's out of gas." "And you'll kill her?" Naruto scoffed, "Can to defeat the purpose in what you want to do to her." "Shut up." The thug snarled, "And have one of your friends pump that motorcycle full of gas. It's a self-serving station." Siko deadpanned. "Shut the fuck up. I heard one of your friends busted open the cash register, which means you guys got tons of money. Now throw your weapons away, put the money in the slot, and pump the motherfucking gas." Naruto sighed and turned to the others, "Guys, lower your weapons. Trust me." He whispered that last part to them, winking. Everyone nearly protested, but resigned and put their weapons down to Rei's dismay. Takashi then pulled out this bat and tossed it to the side, the bat making a cranking noise that echoed through the street. "Takashi. Full her up." Naruto instructed, with Takashi nodding as Yuuki handed him a wad of bills. "Nice one Takashi." Yuuki whispered to him. "Just want to make up for what I did yesterday." He whispered back as he set to work. "Is this part of your plan Naruto-kun?" Shizuka asked, nervous. "Kinda. Just keep that stuff in front of your chest so the moron doesn't get any ideas." Naruto whispered back and turned to Saya, "How long do you think until our guests arrive?" 3 minutes tops." I hope you thought of an escape route, Baka. Saya whispered, making Naruto smack her on the back of her head in homage to a friend his mom has in a division in America known as NCIS. Plenty. For now, just watch and don't do anything. Hey fucker. The thug yelled at Naruto, stop whispering sweet nothings to that slut. Siko sighed, he's long gone. Kakashi finally finished filling the gas on the motorcycle and tossed the keys to Naruto, who caught them. Done. Naruto said coolly, happy now buddy? Very. The thug nodded, now toss the key to me and you and the other males start walking. Naruto raised an eyebrow as he took a step forward, seriously. Shut up. The thug yelled, banishing his knife, don't take one more fucking step. Do you want me to kill you too, you fucking retard? As expected, Naruto grinned before taking another step forward, now really my friend. Shut up. Or I'll seriously fucking kill you, you motherfucker. The thug screamed, raising his knife high in the air. It was the moment Naruto's been waiting for. 1 second, the thug was raising his knife in the air. The next second, Naruto was right in front of the thug, his index finger between the thug's chest and right shoulder, his eyes turning purple with ripples. Now the thug was seriously shocked, along with the others in Naruto's group except Yuki and Siko. How did he move so fast? They thought. And how is Naruto-senpai's eyes like that? Ray wondered, mesmerized by their appearance. Your story may be tragic, but you're beyond saving. Naruto said coldly, what I'm about to do, I've never done to a human before, but given the current situation, it doesn't matter. I made a promise to a friend to protect Ray, and that's what I'll do. Naruto-senpai. Ray thought, happy but curious at what Naruto's about to do. You had a chance to let Ray go, and you blew it. It's the end for you. Before the thug could speak or move, Naruto gathered high-density spiritual energy in the tip of his finger and spoke 4 words that the thug will carry to his death. Peido, number 04, by Akurai. Naruto's finger discharged a concentrated white lightning bolt that went through the thug's shoulder and miraculously missed the gas pump. Naruto then gently pulled Ray over to him and kicked the thug on his wound and into the gas pump. A few seconds later, he howled in pain. Asshole. What the fuck did you do to me? The thug howled, "Its hurts. I'm bleeding. I can't move." Then you shouldn't play with knives. Naruto said, picking up the knife and flipping it around his fingers. He then turned towards the others, most of them looking in shock. I know you guys have questions about what I just did, but save them until we get to our destination. I promise I'll answer what I can, but right now, because of the noise we made. He pointed outside the station, where there are multiple walkers coming their way. What do we do about this asshole? Ray asked, glaring bloody daggers at the thrashing thug, it'd be better if we shoot him. Leave him. He'll suffer soon enough. Naruto said simply. But Ray protested. Enough. We don't have time to waste on a fool like this. Naruto snapped sharply before turning to Kakashi, and don't even think about it, Kakashi. Kakashi sweat dropped, I wasn't going to suggest it. Smartest decision ever. Saya said sarcastically. Good, because we've screwed around enough with this guy. And like I said, we have company. Can we go now? Shizuka, Miss Yuzu and Tashimi squeaked together. Of course. Naruto said, tossing the knife away. Naruto and his group walked to far side of the station to avoid the incoming crowd of walkers, with the thug yelling after them. Hey. Where are you guy going? You're just gonna leave me? What kind of fuckers are you? Come on, help me, please. Help me. His pleas went unheard as the group quickly disappeared from his sight. Come back. Come back. Please. Is he serious? Yuki laughed after what he did. Not happening. Siko agreed. A few steps later, an agonizing scream came from the gas station they just left. 30 minutes later. We're almost there. Shizuka said, making the others sigh in relief. That's good. Tashimi said. Is the place we're going to your boyfriend's place? Miss Yuzu asked. No, it's nothing like that. It belongs to my girlfriend. Shizuka said, blushing, she's always busy and traveling because of her work. Saya grumbled, please tell me you have a key. I do. Shizuka confirmed, so I can let some fresh air in and look after the place while she's away. No doubt in a maid outfit. Naruto muttered, imagining it, is there enough room for us all? And what can you tell us about the place so that we'll know what we're looking for? Yuki asked, is it a high-rise? And does it have a good view of the surroundings? Yeah. It's a masonette that's next to the river. It's close to a convenience store that opposite to the path we've taken. Oh, and she has a car too. It looks like a tank that guzzles gas and she threw her arms out to empathize, this big. Well, I don't care about the car, but I'm really tired. Saya said, rubbing the back of her neck, I'd like to shower while there's still working electricity. You and me both. Ray agreed, I swear some of that asshole sweat stained my uniform. I don't think I've felt dirtier in my life. I guess it's a girls' night out then. Yuki said with a foxy smile, making the others girls nervous. Is she a hentai? Saya asked Siko. That's an understatement. Siko muttered back. We're here. Shizuka exclaimed, pointing at their destination. Everyone's eye widened. The place is huge and was like a fortress. And that's not all. This is a nice place. Naruto said in a Samuel L. Jackson way of describing a tasty burger. Are you sure you can call that a car, Shizuka? Because that's a freaking military model Humvee. Yuki squealed, nearly going fangirl. Shizuka giggled, see? Doesn't it look like a tank? Exactly what kind of friend do you have? Kyoko asked, amazed. Well, no doubt those walkers can't jump the fence. Ray noted, so, we should be able to have a good night's sleep. Naruto-senpai. Kakashi pointed down the road, where several walkers were coming their way. Well then, time for some TLC. Naruto declared as he booted the gate to the stairs open. Let's go. They rushed up the stairs, shooting down walkers that were in their way. Nothing was going to stop a group from having some well-deserved rest. End of chapter 5. Chapter 06. Resting from the dead. Lanami Rika's residence. I'm all sweaty. Yeah, me too. A bath. A bath. I'm drenched too. Don't look. You don't need to be shy. What a prude. This isn't about being shy. Hurry up and come in. Miyamoto-san. Hurry, hurry. TV. The so-called killer pandemic is rapidly spreading throughout the world. Our government as well as other countries' governments are collapsing one by one as they do not have any solutions to this outbreak. In this country alone, the pandemic has claimed over 2 million lives. Due to the powerful infectious nature of this disease and lack of help from the government, the number of victims is projected to double in the next 1 or 2 days. We've also taken heavy casualties while trying to keep this show on the air. Our team will be evacuating to an undisclosed offshore facility to prevent further casualties from this killer disease. Unfortunately, this will be our final broadcast as a scheduled program. Farewell, everyone. On behalf of the news crew, goodbye everyone, and I wish you the best of luck. Neighborhood. A little puppy with a white coat, black ear flaps, and wearing a dog collar was whining, nudging the body of his owner, a young girl who was fatally shot by a stray bullet from one of the rowdier groups. The young girl smiled, petted her puppy for the final time, before the light faded with her eyes. The little puppy howled to the sky, mourning the loss of his owner. He then heard moaning and turned to see walkers walking past him and his former owner. Barking, the dog ran down the street, his destination. Unknown. Lanami Rika's residence, living room. Naomi, are you okay? Hi, Takuzo-kun. Takuzo and Naomi were lying on an air mattress they found in the house. Their group members were asleep on another air mattress with Yamada snoring in a chair and Toshimi and Miss Yuzu on another air mattress, sleeping together. After everything that's happened, they all deserved the rest. What a day. Takuzo grumbled out loud, but at least we all made it out okay. Well, most of us. Naomi nodded, I just can't believe that Kawamoto-san decided to stick with Shido. Takuzo sighed, it's her choice, but I'm sure she'll come around before it's too late. Naomi nodded at that before yawning and finally dozing off to sleep, followed by her boyfriend Takuzo. Bathroom. The bathroom was filled with hot steam that the girls are enjoying after all the shit they've been through. Shizuka and Kyoko's content sighs can contest to that. Both ladies and Ray were in the tub while Yuki, Siko, and Saya were sitting on the seats in front of the mirrors washing themselves. This feels great. Ray moaned while stretching. Ah, it's like I'm melting away. Shizuka agreed, with a towel wrapped around her hair. Meanwhile, Saya grabbed an item and inspected it, this is shampoo right? Saya, where else would you find shampoo? Yuki deadpanned while scrubbing her luscious body, the kitchen. Or perhaps the backyard. Several tick marks appeared on Saya, who failed to make a comeback since Yuki had her there. I'll get you back for that. Saya thought, with more tick marks appearing her head when Yuki made the troll face at her. Whoa, sensei, you're gigantic. Ray suddenly exclaimed, knocking Yuki and Saya out of their incoming catfight. Yeah, I know, I get that a lot. Shizuka agreed as she cupped her huge J-cup breasts, smiling, much to Ray's chagrin. Ah, almost impossibly gigantic. Ray lunged forward and grabbed Shizuka's breasts, the busty blonde now moaning loudly at Ray's groping. Come here, let me see those things. There's no way they can be real. Matt, Miyamoto-san. Give me break here, she whined, trying to get away from Ray, but failing miserably as she fondled her breasts and the noise pissing off a certain pink-haired genius. But God, it sounds like we're in some kind of lay massage game. She growled, her eyebrow twitching as she turned to see Ray continue her ministrations on a wailing Shizuka with Kyoko minding her own business and staying out of it. Why are we even taking a bath together? You know why, don't you, Takagi? Siko replied while scrubbing her arms. Yeah, I guess so, Saya mumbled, but caught a glimpse of Yuki's mischievous smirk and scrubbed her hair to distract herself, but considering our current situation. While Saya was talking, Yuki was whispering in Siko's ear, who suddenly shared the same grin. They grabbed a detachable showerhead each, turned the knobs to cold water, and turned them on at full power. We shouldn't be letting our guard down like this, so Aya. Saya was suddenly assaulted from both sides by cold water spraying from both showerheads, and Saya did not enjoy that. That sound was more pleasant than we expected. Siko said while Yuki fell on the floor, laughing her ass off, with a sexy, attractive voice like that, any male would hoo-ah. Saya, with an evil glint, just filled a large bowl full of equal cold water and dumped it on Siko's back, with the water traveling down her back and onto Yuki, whose laugh then became a surprised gasp as she and Siko shivered and moaned loudly. Arg, they both sounded mature, Saya growled. Yuki and Siko then gave mocking glares at Saya, who developed yet another tick mark. Don't look at me, you're the ones who started it. Ayoko just sighed and was about to sink completely into the tub to escape the chaos when Rei pounced on her and groped her breasts. Your breasts are huge too, Hayashi-sensei. Hey, Miyamoto-san. Bedroom. Sounds like they're having fun. Takashi noted, hearing the laughing and moaning in the bathroom. Wanna take a peek? Naruto looked at Takashi like he lost his mind. If you want to die via castration, be my guest. If not, use that crowbar and help me break this damn locker. I'm going to be real pissed if there's nothing in here. Takashi said, so far, all we found is ammo. Third time's the charm, buddy. Naruto said, jamming his own crowbar into the groove of the locker. Now come on. Takashi sighed and jammed his crowbar into the groove as Naruto started to count. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Both boy pulled and managed to successfully break open the locker, but fell forward as a result since the locker door opened the way they were pulling. Ow. Naruto said in a simple tone as he and Takashi got up, with the latter groaning, man, that hurts. Naruto shook his head and looked into the locker with Takashi, whistling, hello, nurse. Whoever Shizuka's friend is, she's loaded. She must have been prepared for something like the situation outside. What does her friend do with these? Takashi wondered, better yet, what kind of job does Shizuka-sensei's friend have? Who is she, Sarah fucking Palin? These guns, Naruto thought, looking closely at them as he took them out carefully, a Springfield M1A1 Super Match, a modified R10 that looks like the Knight SR25 enhanced match rifle, a Barnett Wildcat C5 crossbow, and a Ithaca M37 riot shotgun. There's only one person I know in Japan who owns these firearms outside Spiral Corporation. Naruto's eyes then widened in realization. Rika-chan, is this your place? I didn't know you were friends with Shizuka-chan. Okinosu Offshore International Airport. Achoo. Hajime looked over at his partner, what's the matter? Someone's probably talking about me behind my back. Rika guessed. What? Who? Tajima asked. Rika shrugged as she rubbed her nose with her hand, well, I don't have that many friends, so it's probably. Minami Rika's residence, bathroom. Shizuka and Kyoko both cried out loud as Rei continued to fondle their breasts. We're not in school anymore. Yuki said, looking over her shoulder and addressing Kyoko, so we can do whatever we want. Bedroom. Man, Naruto shook his head. Yuki Haim's gonna have a field day when she sees these weapons. She loves weapons that much? Takashi asked Naruto as the blonde set the weapons on the bed. Hell, yeah. Naruto confirmed, I mean, when she first saw Spiral Corporation's weapons vault, she had an orgasm right then and there. Hell, she gotten so horny, we had sex in there. Takashi blinked before holding his nose. Okay, I didn't need to know that, but I get how much she loves weapons now. What's her angle? She originally wanted to be in the military when she graduated from college. But now she wants to work for Spiral Corporation in their Black Ops division, and it's not because of me. She made that decision before she entered high school. Naruto explained, but only that, she also wants to work under me when I open a new shop, Devil May Cry, like my uncle Dante before me. Takashi was confused. Devil May Cry? I think I've heard of it before. It's an agency that deals with paranormal and supernatural cases, as well as private investigating and mercenary work. Paranormal and supernatural. Takashi repeated, you're not making that up, are you? Naruto gave Takashi a blank look and pointed out the window where all the chaos is outside. That shut Takashi up as Naruto began checking the firearms to make sure they're working. Don't just stand there. Naruto snapped, load the clips, will ya? Takashi was about to protest until he gave up on it. Yes, senpai, just one thing. Who do you think the hell is Shizuka-sensei's friend? There's no way she's an average citizen. She did mention something about her friend being in the special forces like SAT. Naruto shrugged as he took out his cell phone. Everything's fine if you work for law enforcement, a big-time corporation, some funny business, or involved in serious shit. As for her friend, I have a hunch. Bathroom. Shizuka and Kyoko finally had a chance to relax now that Rei switched her target to Saya while Yuuki washed Siko's back with the sword mistress enjoying Yuuki's touch. So, Siko-chan, Yuuki whispered in Siko's ear, when are you gonna do that with Naruto-kun? Siko blushed heavily, I mean, we did it many times and you have yet to do it with him. What's stopping you from going all the way to third base? Yuuki asked, you did tell us that you weren't saving up for marriage. Siko nodded, it's just that she started but fell silent, drawing a sigh from Yuuki. It's okay. I'm sure we'll find out what's going on with you eventually, Yuuki said as she poured warm water on Siko's back, you can't hide it from Naruto-kun and me forever. Siko nodded, already knowing that. Hey, Saya called out to the two, finally shaking Rei off, what are two talking about over there? Your academic rival. Yuuki answered, getting an annoyed look from Saya, and no, it's not about Einstein or Shakespeare. Hahaha. Saya laughed mockingly, anyway, I was going to ask you where you got those tattoos. Yuuki rubbed the tattoo on her neck, that's actually a mate mark. A side view of a fox head that has 10 tails with a yin-yang background. On her left breast is a small black mark in the shape of a demon's head with red eyes. Sorry, she teased, it's a secret. Okay then, Yuuki-san, Kyoko sweat-dropped before piping up, what's Naruto-san like in your words? What Naruto is like? Yuuki suddenly had a slight dreamy look on her face, he's strong, cool, sexy, humble, badass, and smart, can back up what he says and does, doesn't take shit from anyone, and he's really good in BED. The last part had all the girls blushing like mad, especially Shizuka. That's amazing. She said. Deshu, Yuuki giggled. Siko could only sigh, but noticed Rei was shifting nervously while in the tub, her hair shadowing her eyes. Rei then stood up with a grin on her face and suddenly splashed everyone with water, prompting Yuuki to get into the tub to get Rei back, dragging Siko in with her. A massive water fight ensued, with the highlight being Shizuka pressing her breasts together, scooping water into her valley, and squirting at Rei and Yuuki, both orange teas catching a face full of water before both fell into the tub, drawing laughs from everyone. Bedroom. Can they be any louder? Takashi grumbled as he finished loading up the 10th clip, as the laughter got louder, they should probably hold it down in there. It's alright. Naruto assured him from the balcony, busy fixing his phone, I put a sound barrier jutsu around the perimeter of the apartment so our dear zombie friends can't hear the inside of the apartment. Besides, most of the noise is coming from the bridge over there, no there's no zombies in the streets here. I see jutsu huh? Takashi sighed loudly as he started on his next clip. Something on your mind? Naruto asked, looking back at him. It's Hisashi. Takashi answered after a moment, despite seeing him dying, I still can't believe he's gone. Naruto just fell silent. Rei was so distraught. Takashi continued, I never thought he'd react that strongly to his death. Then again, she was his girlfriend. Naruto suddenly frowned, you got a point, but now that I think about it, were they really, despite them hanging out around each other all the time? What do you mean, Naruto-senpai? Takashi asked, looking up from his work, from the looks of it, their relationship was pretty obvious. But they never said or confirmed that they were boyfriend and girlfriend, did they? Naruto pointed out, I'm looking back through my memories and I don't recall them saying that they were an item. I only heard from the rumors. Takashi frowned, then his eyes widened, so, you mean then why were they? Naruto shook his head, I don't know, but I think it's a good night to find out. Don't worry, I'll handle it. Naruto went back to work on his phone, leaving Takashi to get back to loading the ammo. Bridge. It's pretty chaotic at the end of the bridge leading to the city. A blockade was set up by the police to mixed reactions from the citizen due to there being other survivors on the other side of the blockade. Get away from any more dangerous, even if they're your family members. A loud voice shouted from a police car using a microphone, I won't let anyone who's been attacked or injured through here. Keep far from infected individuals. The lockdown is in effect here at western side of Tokunosu City. A female news reporter nearby reported, however, as this killer pandemic continues to spread throughout the world, 1 in 10 people are strongly doubting the effectiveness of these lockdowns. Those of us that were left behind due to lack of transportation to our offshore facility will continue to report on the current situation in Tokunosu City through satellite communications, as long as it's possible. Meanwhile, near the news reporter at a police car, a police chief was not happy as he yelled into the radio. What do you mean when you tell us we're free to do whatever? He snapped, what about the backup from the prefectural headquarters? Communications were cut off. Damn it. He threw the headset down in frustration as an officer came up to the chief. Captain, he reported, at this rate, the barricade isn't going to hold. Well, that's a given. The captain said, we short-handed here and for Christ's sake, some of the people here are normally office workers. But sir, what do we do? The officer protested as the chief's face turned grim. We've received an order from upper management. We're permitted to do anything we can to maintain order. The captain revealed, it seems that things are crazy over there too. The last order they received from headquarters was to do whatever they could do to control this mob. To give us an order. The officer demanded, even if there's unharmed citizens over there, we're going to have to sacrifice them for the greater good to save the larger group. The captain gritted his teeth at that, how ironic. Our job is supposed to be protecting the citizens, and now we'll be forced to kill them. He slammed the side of his fist on his car, damn it. It hasn't been 2 days since all of this began. Minami Rika's residence, bedroom. What the hell is this? Takashi growled as he looked at the carnage on the bridge, seeing survivors getting attacked by walkers. It's like a horror movie. I'm getting sick here. And you win an award for pointing out the obvious, my friend. Naruto deadpanned, almost got it, what the? He was almost finished fixing his cell when he noticed some activity at the blockade. Activating his eagle sense, he viewed a crowd gathering with signs of various sizes. What up? Takashi asked. Turn on the TV, Naruto instructed when he saw cameras, something's going on. Takashi nodded and turned on the TV to the image of the live events on the bridge. Naruto came in, looked at the screen, and facepalmed, you gotta be kidding. A radical conspiracy group. This abuse of power by the police is intolerable. Intolerable. We believe that this killer pandemic is caused by biological weapons by our government and foreign nations. Right now we've lived at the demonstrations of those that are strongly against this lockdown. The female news report exclaimed over the noise, as you can see, tensions are running extremely high. The nature of this group is unknown. We condemn those that caused this killer pandemic. Killer pandemic, Takashi muttered, don't they mean the outbreak by Umbrella? Remember, despite that video, Umbrella managed to deny all involvement with bribes. Naruto said, what I don't get is why that group isn't naming them as a possible cause. We don't know what group this is, but according to these handouts from the group, their main focus is the belief that this was caused by the leak of a biological weapon developed by the Japanese and American governments. The biological weapon created by the Japanese and American government. Seriously? Takashi asked in shock, don't they get it? It's Umbrella. That video that played all around the video 3 weeks ago. There's no other explanation for this. Just how deep does Umbrella's influence go? How do they manage to get people to believe that they aren't involved? Naruto just looked at Takashi, this is what they call government propaganda. Bang. Bridge. The officer who fired his gun stepped back in fear as the zombies started moving towards the blockade. He cried in fear as he prepared to fire again. Boy. The chief shouted, I didn't authorize you to shoot. The officer fired again, hitting a zombie straight in the head. The other officers aimed their revolvers and fired on the incoming crowd of zombies. Stop it. Screamed a voice on the bridge. The officer stopped firing and looked closely to see a young mother holding a child in her arms. Don't shoot. She cried, my girl and I are still alive. We're still alive. The police didn't know what to do as she continued, I beg you. My baby, please save my baby. The police were just about to do that, but the next moment, the child suddenly turned and bit her mother on the neck, spraying blood everywhere. Everyone looked on in shock as the mother froze, dropping her child and turned into a zombie. But she didn't get far as an officer shot her in the head, breathing heavily. See what they've done. The despicable police have finally resorted to indiscriminately using violence against the citizens. The demonstration leader cried, pumping the crowd up as the news kept recording their actions. This abuse of power by the police is unforgivable. The female news reporter then noticed the police chief walking towards the rally. Hey, get that person on film. She ordered her cameraman, who zoomed in on the police chief who was about to confront the leader of the rally, just do it. Unforgivable. Unforgivable. The police chief then placed his hand on the leader's shoulder, stand down immediately. He ordered. Hey? It's dangerous for you guys to be here too. The chief explained as the leader brushed his hand off his shoulder. Screw you. The rally leader shouted in his face, you're just trying to cover up the conspiracy framed by our government. I'll repeat myself one last time for your sake. The police chief said firmly, you need to disband your demonstration immediately and go. Hell no. Go away. The leader retorted, now leading the crowd in a chant. Go away. Go away. Go away. The police chief's eyes were shadowed by his hat, you don't seem to understand, my friend. We've been ordered to take any measure necessary to maintain public order by any means necessary. It's not exactly legal, but the order is absolute. But that said, the police officer unholstered his revolver and aimed it at the head of the rally leader, much to the latter's confusion. Huh? Bang. The next second later, the rally leader was breathing through a new hole in his head as he fell to the ground backwards, dead, erecting screams from the crowd. Minami Rika's residence, bedroom. The channel went out, but the 2 Fujimi Academy students saw everything they needed to see. Oh man, this is insane. Takashi muttered as he turned off the TV. No shit. Naruto growled out as he put the cell back together, turned it back on, and tested it. Good, it's working. Before Naruto could do anything, his cell suddenly start ringing, causing him to answer it quickly. Uzumaki. Thank Kami. I finally got a hold of you, Naruto-kun. Parent-chan. It's good to hear your voice. Likewise. So what the hell happened? Why did it take you so long to fix your cell phone? Kushina-sama was going mad with worry, and you know how she is. Several of the soldiers already suffered her wrath. It's a long story, one which I'll tell later if you send someone to pick me and my group up so Kachan can calm down. And do. Naruko-chan's already about to be en route to the bridge near you with a rescue crew. I'll send her your coordinates. Ada, 60 minutes. Excellent. That'll give my team time to rest up before going out again. Tell my mom I'll see her soon. Will do. Just don't die, Naruto-kun. You know me, Karen-chan. The line then went dead as Naruto hung up and turned to Takashi. We be out of here in an hour. Why don't you go and rest up for a bit, Takashi? I'll keep watch. Takashi stood up, I think I will. Alright. Meanwhile, I'll. Naruto-kun moaned a voice behind Naruto. Naruto was about to turn around when Shizuka appeared behind them and fell on his shoulder, her breasts pressing against his back. Shizuka-chan. What the hell? Naruto tried to support Shizuka, are you okay? Oh, I'm more than okay, Naruto-kun she replied, slightly slurring her speech, kissing him on the cheek while her hand snaked her way to his groin. Yeah right, you reek of alcohol. Naruto yelled, grabbing her offending hand, but causing her slip. Naruto managed to catch her, but grabbed her breasts in the process, making her moan out loud. Naruto sweat dropped, oops. It's okay, Naruto-kun, Shizuka said sweetly, hugging him, I don't mind. Naruto-senpai, are you going to be okay? Takashi asked nervously as Naruto struggled to keep Shizuka's hands away from his groin without hurting her. I'll be fine. Naruto grumbled as Shizuka turned her attention to Takashi, who suddenly looked nervous. Kamuro-chan. She squealed, crawling toward him. Me? Chan. Takashi stuttered, You've been a good boy, so here's your reward. She planted a wet kiss on Takashi's cheek, making his face turn red and his nose spurted out blood. He fainted, with Shizuka straightening up to her full height and licked her lips seductively before turning to Naruto. Okay, Shizuka. You had your fun, now get back downstairs. He ordered, but Shizuka shook her head. No, no way. I get scared when it's too quiet. I want to stay up here with you. She protested, lunging at Naruto and tackling him to the bed, now hugging him, I just want to stay like this with you. Naruto grumbled some more and turned to Takashi, who recovered from his short fainting spell and was now heading downstairs. Going to sleep, Takashi. You could help me out here you know. Oh, yep, I love turtles. He said dumbly as he floated downstairs, good night. Perhaps it was lucky that Takashi went downstairs because Shizuka started grinding her hips into Naruto's groin. Naruto-kun, I want you. She moaned, let's have sex. Shizuka-chan. Naruto started slowly, I know you're drunk, but are you sure you want to? He asked, as Shizuka's face drew inches to his own. I do, because I love you. Shizuka confessed, giving a surprised look from his face, I fell for you when you, Yuki-san, and Siko-san saved me from that club sponsored by Shido a year ago. I wanted to be with you for so long, but I wasn't sure if you were into older women. You'll be surprised. Naruto replied, but are you sure about this? There's no going back after this. Their lips were now inches apart. Like Yuki, Siko, and your maids back home, I'm yours. Shizuka assured him, take me, Naruto-kun. She fell asleep before I could tell her I love her too. Naruto mused as he laid Shizuka on the bed and deactivated the repelling seals, she must have used the rest of energy during our romp together. After Naruto fixed himself and cleaned Shizuka up, she wrapped her body in her towel and proceeded to carry her piggyback. You're touching my ass. Shizuka mumbled her sleep, Naruto koi, uhentai. And I'm sure you loved it, my naughty little nurse. He replied as he walked towards the stairs. But he didn't get that very far. Am I interrupting anything? Naruto swore under his breath when he saw Rei on the stairs. She was dressed in her pajamas that consist of a tight light pink tank top and white panties. Nothing that concerns you, Rei. Naruto told her, not moving when Rei walked towards him and got in his face, is there a problem? Ah. Rei suddenly cried with a starry look in her eyes, you look pretty good in threes Naruto-senpai. Huh. Naruto facephalted, completely caught off guard. There's a lot of you. She squealed as she fell on her butt, now with dazed look on her face. Geez, of all people, not you too. Naruto sighed, well, considering what's happening outside, the law book's officially thrown out the window. Are you okay, Ray? I'm all worn out. Ray replied, holding her head, everything went crazy in just a day and I can't even contact my mom or dad. Hisashi is dead too. Must be the alcohol talking. Yuuki came upstairs, dressed in the same attire as Ray. Luckily, I managed to stop her before she hit the legal limit. Naruto raised an eyebrow, and you? Yuuki smirked, licking her fingers, I'll be lying if I said I haven't been drinking as well. Figures. Naruto rolled his eyes, so what are you doing up here? I'd like to keep watch on the balcony. Yuuki said, besides, I need the fresh air after drinking. For someone who claims she drunk alcohol, you sure don't act drunk. Naruto noted, no matter. I guess you're sober enough to handle those beauties over there. At Yuki's confused look, Naruto nudged his head towards the bed near the window where the firearms he and Takashi found laid resting. Those are. In 1 second, Yuuki was instantly at the bed, squealing while marveling over the firearms, Sugoi. 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 Thank Kami-chan for the sound barrier jutsu. Naruto thought as Yuuki started examining the weapons. Springfield M1A1 Super Match, it's semi-auto. Which is fine, because the M14 series' full auto is nothing but a waste of bullets anyway. The magazine holds 20 rounds, and the gun's been outfitted with a M900 Surefire vertical foregrip weapon light, an Aimpoint M2 red lot laser sight, a Desert Warrior M14 cheek crest, and a Malpal magazine loop. This is fucking illegal in Japan. Yuuki-san? Ray asked, waving her hand. Don't bother. Naruto advised her, she's in full weapons attaku mode. Hirano and her share that trait ever since they went on that trip to America together. They trained for a whole month by a professional instructor from a private military company called Blackwater. He's an ex-captain of Delta Force. Ray paled, what is she? A card-carrying member of the NRA. The Knight's SR-25 enhanced match rifle. Yuuki frowned, looking at it closely before she remembered something. No wait, you can't get these in Japan, so this must be a completely modified Armalite R10T. It's been outfitted with a Spiderfire folding bipod, sling mounts, a rail system, a Leupold M3A scope, and a Magpul PRS stock. Most of these parts comes from an SR-25, but it's still a R10. She's only an expert when it comes to this kind of thing, is she? Ray asked, sweating. As well as other topics, Naruto nodded, she does know her firearms. This one's a crossbow. It's descendant of the one that Robin Hood used. The Barnett Wildcat C5. It's made in Britain. You can even kill a bear with this thing. And this last one, the American-made Ithaca M37 riot shotgun. It played a huge role in the Vietnam War. No wonder she's the top student in American history. Ray recalled, that class was so boring. And you guys already loaded the clips. Good thinking, Naruto-kun. Yuuki praised as she loaded up the firearms and activated the safety on all of them. I only hope that we only have to point them at those zombies. Ray slurred, her head rocking back and forth. Naruto shook his head, you know that's not possible, taking into account who's responsible for this chaos and what we saw outside on the way there. It's only gonna get worse. He's right. Yuuki agreed with a bloodthirsty grin on her face, in a war like this, there's no surrendering or negotiations or shit like that. It's either them or us, and it's sure as hell not gonna be us. Ray laughed nervously, I'm so glad that we're on the same side. Yuuki sweat dropped before turning serious, well these guns are definitely illegal, it's not illegal if you buy the part separately, but it's illegal if they're assembled, technically speaking. Whoever Shizuka's friend is, they know what they're doing. But there's no such thing as illegal anymore, is there? Naruto pointed out as he went downstairs. You're right about that. Yuuki agreed as she went out on the balcony, with Ray now crawling towards her. Living room. Naruto set Shizuka down on the vacant sofa and covered her towel-wrapped figure with a sheet. He then looked over to see Saya on the other sofa, wearing a light blue tank top and extremely short black short and snoozing away, sweat trickling down her body. Behind him, the other students were asleep, surprising still. Takashi was snoring on the floor. The two BFFs, Toshimi and Miss Yuzu, had their arms wrapped around each other, their lips dangerously close to each other's. And Yumoda, sleeping near the sofa he fell out of. Naruto checked his phone. It was still 45 minutes until the evacuation, so he wasn't going to wake them up yet, so he went to the refrigerator to get a snack. Naruto-kun. Our late-night snack will be ready soon, said the sound of Siko's voice, it'll be our lunch for tomorrow as well. Sounds good. Naruto said, withdrawing from the refrigerator as he grabbed a fruit salad and a pack of juice boxes to take upstairs, just be ready to head out at any time. Naruto sensed his brain shutting down as saw Siko and an embarrassed Kyoko at the stove, wearing nothing but panties and aprons. Siko smiled as she saw Naruto blinking and asked, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Naruto repeated, holding his nose while pointing at their revealing outfits with a shaky finger. Oh, you mean these? There weren't any clothes that could fit us. Siko explained, I suppose they do reveal too much. You think? Naruto deadpanned. We're only wearing these until our clothes come out of the laundry. Kyoko squeaked, so don't get any ideas. I'm not getting any. Naruto protested, you two just caught me by surprise wearing those. Oh. Kyoko composed herself, well, any news from the outside? We're getting out of here in about 45 minutes. Naruto said, hopefully your laundry will be done by then. Really? Asked an excited Siko. Naruto smiled, really. Kyoko let out a sigh of relief, thank goodness. Just don't let your guards down, Naruto said seriously, we don't know what'll happen outside, so. It's okay. Siko assured him, you and Yuki-chan have your eyes open for us. I put my absolute trust in you two as always. Hey, Miku, listen to me. Rei's loud voice sounded from upstairs. Don't call me Miku, Rei. Will you please go away? Yuki's voice snapped. Naruto-senpai. Come up here. Miku's bothering me up there. Help. Are you kidding me? You're the one who's harassing me. I think you should stop them. Siko said, turning back to the cooking food, at times, girls like Rei enjoys pretending to be helpless. That's what I'm afraid of. Naruto grumbled as he turned to go upstairs. Naruto-san. Kyoko called out, are you sure this sound barrier jutsu will hold? Naruto nodded, of course. You don't see zombies try to get in, do you? Come on. Get up here, Naruto-senpai. Rei wailed, hey, Naruto-senpai. Naruto-senpai. Pipe down or I'll shoot you in the ass. Yuki snarled as the sound of a gun being cocked was heard. Naruto sighed as Siko and Kyoko giggled. Bedroom. Naruto came upstairs to see Yuki and Rei rolling around on the floor, spatting, growling, and hissing at each other like cats. From what it looks like, Yuki finally snapped. Grumbled, Naruto set the food down and pulled the orange teas apart, much to Yuki's relief. Took you long enough, Naruto-kun. Yuki grumbled as she snatched up a juice box and began to drain its contents, I was just about to shoot her. Rei blew a sour raspberry at Yuki, who got a tick mark while Naruto rolled his eyes. I knew I should have gotten some jello, he mumbled, imagining them wrestling in it with nothing but bitterness. Pelican-class rescue ships, Japan skies. Fleets of ships were seen in the sky on the way to Tokunosu City. In one of those airships is a young female with blonde hair tied in pigtails, blue eyes, whisker marks on her cheeks, and wearing a black t-shirt, black jeans, and black combat boots. She has a katana on her back, a handgun strapped to her hip, and an assault rifle in her hands. Wait until our destination? She asked the pilot. 40 minutes, Naruko-sama. Answered the pilot. Make it 30, my friend. We don't have time to take it easy. Naruko said, understood. Yes ma'am. Minami Rika's residence, bedroom. Like I said, Hisashi was really sweet and so nice. He always paid attention to me. One time when we went to the karaoke bar, he really got into it instead of playing Angry Birds on his iPhone. Even when I felt lonely, he was always there to listen to me, even when I had to repeat a grade. Naruto had a lost look on his face as Yuki's head took residence on his lap while they were on the bed. Rei's voice was like nails drilling into their heads as they drank their juice, and both Naruto and Yuki were starting to get annoyed. Ever since Naruto broke up the catfight between Yuki and Rei, the latter was complaining, winding up a storm, and talking about the good times she spent with Hisashi. Naruto and Yuki has no beef with Hisashi, there was so much they could take. Are you even listening? Rei asked, tugging at Naruto's shirt. Huh? I'm sorry, Naruto returned to Earth and looked Rei, using the one line he got from a dumb scarecrow from his old school, did you say something? Huh? Cool story, but I was in my happy place. Naruto explained, making Yuki snigger, a place voided of your voice. Juice box. He held out an unopened juice box to Rei, but she brushed it away. What the hell is with that? She snapped, you're getting so boring, like Takashi. What's your point, sophomore? Naruto asked quietly, trying really hard to let that insult slide and not crush his juice box, do you actually believe that I have to listen to every little thing that comes out of your mouth? In case we need to tone it down for your pea-sized brain to understand, we have our own shit to deal with ourselves. Yuki added, finishing off her juice. Rei muttered, that's why me and Hisashi. Ah, it's it. Naruto growled, activating the sound barrier jutsu, and nudged Yuki off his lap. The next thing Rei knew, she was up directly in Naruto's angry face, his hands gripping the front of her shirt. When it comes to you and your emotional constipation, I've had it up to here. Hisashi's our friend too, but you bring him up every chance you get for no reason. Besides, he's dead now, because he was bitten, and we spared him from becoming one of those damn zombies, because he wished it. Just face the facts, he's not coming back, so get your head out of your ass, out of the fantasy world, and stop blinding yourself from our new reality. We're still alive, and I'm gonna keep us all alive, no matter what. He threw Rei on the bed, adding, and there one more thing you should know. I'm not Hisashi or Takashi. I am Naruto. Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto fucking Sparta. There is only one of me and no one else. I'm no one's bitch, do you understand me, Miyamoto Rei? Rei looked up at Naruto, terrified and at a loss for words. Yuuki, however, was quietly clapping. Well said, Naruto-kun, she said, pulling Naruto back down. I swear, that little display is one of the many reasons I love you. I know. He replied. He and Yuuki kissed each other deeply. When they pulled apart, they looked over at Rei, who was looking away with a blush and a slightly angry look on her face. You know Rei, I was wondering, Naruto started, sure, you and Hisashi were inseparable back in school, but were you really an item? I mean, aside from hugs and hand-holding, I saw no other displays of affection from you two. That caught Rei off guard, Not to mention that you two never confirmed that you were boyfriend and girlfriend. All you two did was hang around and eat lunch together. Naruto added, got anything to say about that? Yuuki did not know what her boyfriend was getting at, but his accusations were found. Like him, she noticed that Rei and Hisashi were only acting like friends, not boyfriend and girlfriend. Rei meanwhile, was shifting around uncomfortably, so, you've noticed my secret all this time, and one of the reason he recommended me for the disciplinary squad. Rei, was there something going on between you two? Yuuki asked. No. Rei waved her hands, Hisashi is a nice guy and we were just friends. We never had sex. That's not what you said on the roof. Yuuki pointed out. I was caught up in the moment. Rei said quietly, we were close and I never lost someone like Hisashi. I admit, we never were an item. We were just friends and what? Naruto potted, Rei. I had a crush at the time and still do. Rei admitted. Yuuki's mouth was open, wah, are you serious? Who's the lucky guy then? Naruto looked at Yuuki, you were quick to ask. Well, this guy I fell for him a few months after he transferred to our school. Rei explained with a blush on her face, he's kind, friendly, and cool. He was not like some of the other boys in the school who would think with their other head either. He even fought for me on my behalf when I was held back a grade because of Shido team, even though it didn't work out. He must have been some guy. Yuuki said, he and Naruto would have made great friends since they're the same. Do you think this guy's still alive? Naruto asked, did he manage to escape Fujimi Academy? He did, with his girlfriends. Rei said sadly, I lost my chance to be with him. If he's half the man you say he is, then he's alive. Wait, Yuuki frowned at Rei, did you say, girlfriends? Yes. Rei said, now nervous as Yuuki gave her a piercing stare. There's only one guy in the school who has girlfriends, Rei, you. Naruto rubbed the back of his head, let me guess, I'm that lucky guy. I'm the one you have a crush on, right? Rei hesitated for a moment before giving the two a tiny nod of confirmation. Yuuki laughed, well, I'll be damned. I misinterpreted those longing looks you gave Naruto when and Siko were around. Does Hisashi know? Rei nodded, yeah. He's actually been working on my confidence. Truthfully, on the day all of this started, I was going to confess to you, Naruto-senpai. So. Rei crawled up to Naruto and looked him straight in the eyes, I love you, Naruto-senpai. I want to be with you. Please let me be one of your girls. She cried, shocking the hell out of her two fellow members of the disciplinary squad. I see. I admit myself that I've taken an interest in you as well. You're headstrong, reliable, and caring. Traits that were prefect for the disciplinary squad in school, but you hid your feelings pretty well with your semi-fangirl ways. I'm sorry for not noticing you sooner. Naruto apologized, rubbing Rei on her head, what do you think, Yuuki-hime? Do you want her to be with us? Yuuki had a thoughtful expression, well, I don't mind, though her behavior leaves something to be desired. What do you mean, Yuuki-san? Rei asked, as Yuuki's eyes roamed her body, she's eye-humping me. I'm just saying that considering how you've been acting, coupled with the fact that you held these feelings for so long, you need punishing. Yuuki said in an eerie manner, what say you, Naruto-kun? Well, Yuuki said, gently rolling Rei off top of her, that was some secret she kept. How the hell are we gonna explain this to Takashi? Good point, Naruto said before adopting a mischievous grin, go for it. We? Yuuki raised an eyebrow, by we, I meant you, asshole. I love you too, Yuuki-hime. Naruto said as he put his pant back on, in all seriousness, we are going to tell Takashi when the time comes. It was Rei's secret to begin with. Yuuki sighed, putting her tank top and panties back on, you're right. Besides, I had enough melodrama from Rei here. Make that two of us, Naruto agreed as he looked at his phone, we have about 20 minutes until our ride gets here. We'll wake the others up in 10 minutes. Understood. Yuuki said, grabbing a crossbow and loading it. Bridge. On the bridge, a new wave of survivors was running across the bridge, trying to get to the blockade, bobbing and weaving though the undead without getting bitten. But unfortunately, some of the people on the other side had other plans. Are you sure about this? A man inside of a bulldozer in front of the blockade stammered in shock. We'll take total responsibility for everything, said the officer talking to him, just do it now. The driver gulped and turned on his machine, are you serious? The survivors nearly made it to the blockade, but were horrified to see several bulldozers coming their way. Screw you all. Die. The lead driver roared as he drove down the bridge, intent on running everything over, dead or alive. Damn it. The people on the other side have abandoned us like this. Shouted one of the survivors as another jumped on an abandoned car to warn the other survivors, get away. You're going to get crushed if you come this way. Terrified, the other survivors ran for it. Meanwhile, at the blockade, an officer was shouting into the radio. That's the way. Come back with the bulldozer once you reach the middle of the bridge. You're permitted to shoot anyone that enters the area. This is an order from. A loud gunshot interrupted him. He turned and was horrified to find the police captain committing suicide via gunshot to the head, his body falling to the ground as a picture of his family floated to the ground. Before the officer could cry in terror, the female reporter pointed to the horizon, look, over there. The others looked to see a fleet of ships speed towards them, the sign of Spiral Corporation shining brightly on their ships. Minami Rika's residence. What the? Returning from downstairs after checking up on his group, Naruto frowned when he heard a dog barking outside. The dog out right now? And it's awfully close, oh no. He rushed up a spiral staircase, through the bedroom, and came out to the balcony. Ukiheim, he said, coming next to her, noticing her serious expression and what she's wielding the modified R10. Bad news, we have a problem. She said, pointing down to the street where the undead started to gather and the little pups outside the sound barrier jutsu. Damn. We got to go now, huh? What's wrong, Naruto-kun? Over there. He said, pointing to the horizon. Yuki squinted her eyes, those are Pelican-class rescue ships. They're here. Come on, let's get the others up. Naruto said as he and Yuki ran downstairs. Main Pelican-class rescue ship. Alright people. You know what to do. Ma'am, yes ma'am. Naruto watched as the Yuzu soldiers commenced the rescue operation by shooting at the undead while the doors to the ships opened up, letting the soldiers land on the ground to exterminate the zombies. She then looked over, using her eagle sense to locate Minami Rika's house, and saw her twin brother and his group moving around in it. Just hold on, Naruto Nai. End of chapter 6. Chapter 07 Rescuing from the Dead. Minami Residence. As Naruto and Yuki ran down the spiral staircase, a shotgun blast from outside stopped them. Looking at each other, they turned back. I hope it isn't someone who saw the lights on and trying to get our attention. Yuki said as they bent down and crawled out onto the terrace. Judging by the bouncing sound waves, highly doubtful. Naruto replied as Yuki searched for the source with the scope of her rifle. There. She whispered, zooming in, looks like someone our age that managed to get a shotgun. They watched as the kid fired off another loud shot and attempted to reload his shotgun and dropped a loaded shell in the process. After he managed to pick it up, he found himself surrounded by walkers. His screams of pain echoed through the street as the zombies feasted on him. Poor bastard, Naruto muttered. Indeed. The situation is getting worse. Naruto and Yuki turned to their lover Siko surveying the scene with a pair of binoculars with Takashi right next to her, also looking. Damn, I can't just stand here. Takashi said he prepared to leave. Takashi, what are you planning? Naruto asked coolly. What do you think, senpai? Takashi countered angrily, I'm getting a gun and shooting those. Siko smacked him on the back of his head, Kamuro, have you forgotten that they react to sound? Shaking her head, she left the terrace as Takashi followed after her. But Usajima-senpai. Also, Siko interjected, there's the problem with the living gathering here once they notice the light and our figures. Until we get to Yuzu Island, we lack the ability to help those in need. Takashi growled as Siko then pressed the binoculars she was carrying into his chest, forcing him to hold them. You'll have to grow accustomed to this, since we now live in a world where one cannot survive on chivalry alone. Even before this happened, this world was no fairy tale story where everything's simple. Understand? I thought you were a little different, Usajima-senpai. Takashi said, making Siko scowl to herself before smiling. Do not get the wrong idea, Kamuro. Whether you like it or not, I am merely stating the truth of the world. Siko replied as she headed downstairs. Takashi just grumbled and followed soon after. Back on the terrace, Naruto was fidgeting as he used his enhanced eyes to see people around the area getting attacked by the zombies who managed to catch them. Okay, he already knows that attempting to help someone would lead to unwanted consequences for this group. Even so, the urge to play God and help them was nagging the reddish blonde like an annoying skin rash. And by God it sucked. I don't know how much more of this I can take, Naruto growled as he tried to block out the screaming around the area. I know. Let's just hold out until our ride gets here. Yuki said, grabbing Naruto's hand. Both of them had the same emotions and urges running through them. It'll only be a matter of time before one of them snapped and possibly do something they'll regret. Giving each other a kiss to calm each other down, they returned to lookout duty when Naruto noticed a father and his young daughter running down the street. The father was dressed in a suit but without a jacket, wielding a crowbar, and the young girl has shoulder-length pink hair with bangs reaching down from the side of her temples, stretching outwards, purple-colored eyes, a mole under her left eye, wears a white headband on her head, and wearing a white jacket, a pink dress top and a light blue skirt, black socks and shoes. They then stopped in front of a house with a gate and opened it, walking into the yard. Hey, I know those two. What? How so? Yuki asked as she too saw the father and daughter. Not directly. A few months before this all happened, Takashi and I were on the rooftop with Morita who playing on his guitar. Takashi was in the dumps about Ray-chan, and I was busting Imamura who was smoking up there, again. Apparently he made a book called Morita-sama's Top Secret List of Yumi Academy's AAA grade hot girls. Naruto explained, shaking his head at the memory as Yuki's eye twitched. I'm going to hold my tongue, she growled as Naruto laughed. So, am I in it? Yes, you, Siko Haim, Miss Yuzu-chan, Toshimi-chan and Saya were in there. Of course Morita knew that I took you and Siko Haim. Then Imamura added in his 2 cents, liking older women like Shizuka-chan and Kyoko-sensei. He also showed us these pictures of a woman and her husband and daughter, the woman who's the mom next door that he likes. What? So? Yes. That's her family. But if she's not with them, then… Naruto and Yuki went silent, guessing what happened, before the former picked up a sound of metal piercing flesh from a few blocks away with his enhanced hearing. Where the father and daughter were located. Oh no, Yuki whispered in horror as she saw a makeshift spear sticking into the heart of the father from the open door, in which he was knocking and retracted back. Why? Damn human fear, Naruto muttered in anger, he wasn't even a zombie. They both watched as the father stepped back, clearly in shock, until he hit the wall where the front gate is, sliding down while the gate swung wide open. Naruto then focused his ears, hearing the cries of the little girl for her now dying father. Papa. Papa. Don't worry. Daddy is going to be okay, go and hide. Hide where nobody can find you. Find someplace to hide, the father instructed his daughter gently before closing his eyes and becoming completely still. Papa. Papa. The girl shook her father, the horrible realization sinking into her when there was no response, causing her to tremble. No, no. Don't go. She cried, hugging her father's body close, I want to be with you. I want to be with you forever. Papa. Her sorrowful wails rang through the night, catching the attention of the other walkers in the area. Since they're attracted to sound, they slowly started to swarm towards the open gate to her location. No, no. Naruto growled out, gripping the railing with such force the metal started to compress. He knows that because of the world they're living in, they couldn't help anyone. No one is to be trusted. They had to help themselves. They had to fend for themselves and hopefully find help, but one thing now override the facts he and Siko previously stated. There was a little girl who just lost her father and was completely defenseless against a horde of zombies. Oh, fuck this. Naruto roared, summoning 2 personal handguns, ebony and ivory, and fired shot after shot, looking to rain hell on the zombies that dared set their sights on the little girl. But she wasn't the only one. Let's rock and roll. Yuki just cocked and loaded the Knight's SR-25 semi-automatic sniper rifle and fired several shots as well, resulting in a wave of zombies being dropped before they entered the gate. Yuki Haim. Naruto said, surprised that Yuki fired off several shots as well. The training at Yuzu Island really paid off. I can't believe I scored multiple headshots on a modified rifle that I've never tested out before. I'm truly a natural at this. Yuki whispered excitedly, though to be fair, they're not even 100 meters away. At that, she dropped 2 more walkers walking through the gate trying to get at the little girl. Naruto smirked at that and joined in with firing down at the zombies. At the same time on the house, Saya and Shizuka were still snoozing, both dreaming about a certain reddish blonde. Siko and Kyoko looked up from what they were doing, hearing the gunshots, and Ray woke with a start. So Naruto-kun, what happened to helping only ourselves and those within our group? Yuki questioned playfully. Oh touché, my lovely Haim. You know damn well why. Naruto answered in the same manner. Well, if that's the case, aren't you going to go rescue her? What do you think? Saving damsels in distress is pretty much my specialty, aside from kicking loads of ass. Among other things. I'll cover you from here, love. Go. Naruto nodded and prepared to leap from the balcony. Naruto-kun. Where are you going? Naruto and Yuki turned to see Ray with a Springfield Match M1A1 in her hands. I'm going to save a little kid. I'll be right back. Naruto replied when Ray grabbed his wrist. Then I'll come too. With you slightly limping and the way you're dressed, forget it. I don't care how you do it, but get everyone up and be prepared to leave before I get back," Naruto ordered. But Rei protested when she let go of his wrist. "Let him go. A man's word, especially Naruto-kun's, is final." Siko just came up the stairs and heard what Naruto planned to do. "Guess we're not cold-hearted enough to leave a little kid behind, but you already knew that, Siko-hime," Naruto said with a smirk. "I wouldn't expect anything less from the man I love." Siko agreed, "Don't worry. We'll hold down the fort here, no matter what until you get back." "Wait, you're gonna jump from there? You'll get hurt," Rei exclaimed. "It's alright, Rei-chan." Yuuki assured her as Naruto stood on the railing of the balcony. "Naruto-kun isn't like most people." Naruto then leapt from the balcony and used the Hayabusa-style falcon dive to land on the street. He then did the one thing that shocked the hell out of the others. He whistled loudly, drawing the attention of the zombies in range of the sound as he summoned 2 shadow copies of weapons owned by the descendants of his great-grandfather many times over Sparta. Rebellion, a silver broadsword whose original owner is Dante. And Blue Rose, a double-barrel revolver whose original owner is Nero. "Let's rock," Naruto roared, charging forward and cutting and shooting down each zombie in his way to get to the little girl. Several walkers tried to get the drop up on Naruto but were shot down via headshot by Yuuki. "Just keep moving," Yuuki said via telepathy. "Don't have to tell me twice, Hime," Naruto replied, halfway to his target. "Heh. Don't you have something to do?" Yuuki suddenly snapped at Rei, who jumped and made a beeline downstairs. "Harsh much, Yuuki-san?" Siko asked in a teasing manner. "Our ride could be here any minute. As soon as Naruto-kun gets back with the girl, we're outta here," Yuuki explained before shooting another zombies in the head. Siko nodded and headed for the stairs. "Naruto-kun can't help but rescue a damsel in distress, can he? It's a defenseless little girl." Yuuki snapped back as she fired off a few more shots. "Don't start." Downstairs, Rei saw the others just barely waking up but still had sleepy looks in their eyes. "Miyamoto-san. What's going on up there?" Rei turned to see Kyoko and blushed at her attire but shook it off. "Sensei, can you pack that? Naruto-kun says we need to start moving out," Rei stated as she grabbed a nearby empty pot and ladle. "It's that time already?" Kyoko muttered, setting to work as Rei went to the living room. "Rei, what going on up there?" Takashi asked, coming up to her after finishing setting some bags near the front door. Rei looked at Takashi with a sad expression for a moment before smiling brightly. "Something interesting," she responded and started banging the ladle against pot loudly, yelling, "Hey, wake up." Saya, Toshimi and Miss Yuzu jerked awake and fell onto the floor. Takuzo, his girlfriend Naomi, and the other 2 students that were in his group before joining Naruto's group, woke with a start. Yamoda, the one who went off of Shido's bus, sat straight up and fell backwards off his chair. "What the hell was that for?" Saya shrieked angrily, "Can you see us trying to sleep? And do you remember the situation we're in, Miss Genius?" Rei countered sarcastically, "We have to go, now." "Wah." Everyone finally heard the faint sounds of gunshots outside. "I guess this means Miss Yuzu started with dread." "We were not dreaming." Toshimi finished, paling. "I wish." Rei remarked before starting to shake Shizuka, who was still asleep. "Oi, sensei. Wake up, Shizuka-sensei." "Huh?" Shizuka mumbled as Rei sat her off, "Is breakfast ready yet?" "As if. This is no time to be out of it." Rei yelled at her as she pulled at her cheeks. "Ha-ha. Hiya. Stop it." Shizuka wailed, "Oh." Meanwhile outside, Naruto made it to the gate and cleaved 4 zombies in half who were blocking the way. He then rolled his eyes as he shot another zombies coming up behind him and kicked it away. "Shit. Naruto-kun." Yuuki cried, looking through the scope and seeing the view the zombies close to the girl being blocked by the wall. "The girl is on your 11, with 3 zombies closing in on her. I can't get a shot off." "I'm on it," Naruto confirmed after using a Rasengan to blow a walker to pieces. Meanwhile, the scared little girl was huddled in the corner crying, with the puppy from earlier attempting to defend her by barking at the zombies. "Hick. Stop it. Stay away." The little girl cried from the corner, "I didn't do anything wrong." The mindless zombies didn't process her plea as they lunged towards the girl to feast on her flesh. Eek. And out of nowhere, a large blue spectral hand scooped up the zombies in its bone-crushing grip and threw them at the other wall, their bodies exploding on impact. The puppy barked as the little girl opened her eyes to see a reddish blonde with a sword, a gun, and strange gauntlet on his right arm. Huh? The little girl was surprised to see the reddish blonde come out of nowhere as the little puppy baked. "You held out well, kid. Just hang on. This'll be over in a flash," he declared, using force push to blast some zombies away. Back at the house, Yuuki was still gunning down zombies, keeping them away from the gate, but there were too many. "They're coming out of the woodwork. At least the pandemonium gives the other survivors in the area a chance." Two birds, one stone. Yuuki commented as she reloaded the modified R10. Yuuki. Yuuki turned to find Saya, still wearing her tight pajama wear, and a sleepy Shizuka, wearing nothing except carrying a medical bag. What the hell are you two doing up here? Yuuki asked loudly, blushing furiously at Shizuka's nude body. Looking for Naruto. Where is he? Saya snapped in her usual tsundere fashion. He's a little tied up at the moment. Yuuki replied while shooting a walker without even looking. What? What's he doing over there? Saya shrieked after spotting where the zombies were gathering. How did he get over there? What is he doing over there? 4 eyes. ITS, a little girl. Yuuki snapped, you and Shizuka-chan get everything from those lockers and under the bed. In case Rei-chan didn't tell you, we're leaving. But what about Shizuka started? Naruto-kun and the girl will be fine. Move it. Yuuki yelled, her temper already flaring to dangerous levels, but it was enough for the other two to get moving. Bridge. Evacuation's complete, Naruko-sama. No one we saved is infected. And Yuzu soldier reported, you don't mind that the TV reporter Kuromi Haruka and her cameraman's on your plane, do you? Nope. Naruko responded as she fired upon the zombies with her assault rifle with incendiary rounds to prevent them from getting to the planes, just get everyone else out of here. Naruko-sama, that might be a problem. A pilot called over the radio. What, why? Naruko asked until a hail of bullets came out of nowhere, forcing her and her soldier to get down. The fuck was that? Konoha forces. They're coming from the other side of the bridge and moving fast. Are you shitting me right now? Several fireballs were fired from the Konoha forces towards the planes, but Naruko would have none of it. Akuma Futen. Chow de Tapa, Devil Wind style. Super great break though. She yelled, sending an extremely violent wind that cancelled out the fireball and knocking the approaching Konoha forces back. Geez, why now of all times? Suddenly, the bridge and planes came under fire, but not from the ground. We got a fleet of attack helicopters coming our way. Looks to also be from Konoha Zaibatsu. Ugh, such bullshit. Naruko shouted in frustration, I don't have time for this. Neighborhood. Naruto managed to close the gates using the force and was dealing with the remaining hostile zombies in the front yard. 1. He cleaved a zombie completely in half. 2. The bullet from the spirit gun technique from his index finger made a zombie explode on impact. 3. The devastating spinning kick took another zombie's head completely off. Ani-chan, behind you. The little girl cried, with Naruto turning to see the only active zombie who was hidden in the hanging clothes lunging at him. I know, he said as he wreathed Devil Bringer in flames and plunged it into the heart of the zombies, roasting it into ashes. 4. Sugoi. The little girl said in amazement as the puppy barked. Thanks for the heads up, kid. Naruto said with a smile, with girl shaking her head and smiling too, while the puppy barked, wanting thanks too, and you too, Fido. But we're not out of the woods yet. He jabbed his thumb at the zombies, who were moaning as usual and fruitlessly trying to get through the gate. Back at the pad, Takashi, Takuzo, and Yamada were bringing the stuff outside near the gate, while Siko, Rei, Miss Yuzu, and Toshimi were keeping watch. Why are we taking the Humvee when we're being picked up by a plane? Toshimi wondered. I don't know, but let's trust Naruto-senpai with his decisions. He hasn't failed us yet. Miss Yuzu answered. Boy, Miyamoto, Nikki, Ichiju. Leave the scouting to Yuuki and Busujima-senpai and help us over here. Saya called over as the others boys went inside to get the last of the stuff. The three nodded and headed over to her, pasting by Kyoko who like Saya, has bags on her back and her hands. It was when she was pasting Shizuka, who had a large duffel bag cover her breasts and the like, that she blanched. Shizuka, what are you doing? Kyoko said, not noticing her attire and looking mortified, would you please put some clothes on before you completely distract the males? Ah. That's why it feels so cold. Shizuka exclaimed, making Kyoko look at her with wide eyes before fast-faulting as Shizuka trotted off to get some clothes for her voluptuous body. So, is the car prepped? Saya asked Siko, who was standing on a pillar surveying the area. Now would be a good time to get in. They're being distracted and drawn towards Naruto-kun. Saya leaned over the railing to see what Siko's referring to, her breasts bouncing about as she bent off it and paled. Now what do we do? He won't be able to get back on foot. Saya noted, and if I know him as well as I think I do, he won't do anything fancy with the little girl in tow. In the case, why don't we go and get him? Shizuka suggested while buttoning up a shirt, but noticed the looks the others were giving her. I'm sorry. Did I say something strange? I mean, I got the keys to the car. Siko shook her head and smiled, no, it's a fine idea. Then that's all we can do. It's decided. Saya declared, right, Yuki? Yeah. Yuuki confirmed after hearing conversation with her enhanced hearing. After we finishing loading the Humvee, we'll retrieve Naruto-kun and rendezvous with the Yuzu forces coming our way. Back with Naruto, he was annoyed, downright annoyed. Why? Because he nonchalantly knocked on the door of the family who stabbed the girl's father, noting that they can't rely on the people in the house when the door opened and he was stabbed in the back with the same makeshift spear that killed the girl's father. The little girl screamed in horror, fearing that her savior would go the same way as her father, but Naruto was unfazed and as mentioned, downright annoyed. He turned to the people in the house, giving the horrified people an evil look in the form of a red Rinnegan, before grabbing the spear out the assaulter's grip, yanked the spear out of his back, broke it on his knee, and set it on fire, burning it to ashes. He then kicked his assailant into his family, knocking them down like bowling pins, before slamming the door shut on them. Ani-chan, are you okay? The worried little girl asked when he came up to her with a smile. I live. Naruto assured her as his minor wound quickly healed and his eyes returned to normal. Now, let's go. But my papa, he's dead. The little girl said quietly, pointing at the corpse of her father. He died to keep you safe. He was a good father. Naruto said as he took out a scroll and quickly sealed the body inside it, shocking the little girl. Papa. What did you do to him? Sealed his body inside this scroll with some cool magic. We'll give them a proper funeral when we get to a safe haven. It's the least I can do. Naruto said, pocketing the scroll. Papa. The girl was about to cry when Naruto put a finger to her lips. Save your tears, little one. We don't want the zombies to come after us, do we? Can't we get away? To be honest, our ride should have been nearing by now. Naruto commented as he took out his cell and rang his twin's number. Naruko, where are you? I'm a little busy here. It's Konoha. Konoha? What the hell do they want? I have no idea. They came out of nowhere and started shooting fireballs and bullets. But just a few more scatter shots and I'll be done with these fuckers. Alright. We'll come to you. Hopefully we meet down the middle. Naruto said, hanging up and turning to the girl, who had the puppy in her arms. So, what do I call you? Arisu, Alice. Marisato Arisu. The now identified Arisu introduced herself. I'm 7 years old and I can ride a bike really well. And what? Naruto prodded as Arisu started to shift around. I have to go pee. She whined. Naruto facepalmed and pointed to the corner, hurry up and go. Back at the house, the others were loading their stuff into the Humvee as Siko was in front of it, her sword at the ready. Can we even fit all this stuff? Yamada wondered as Takashi shrugged, what if they come while we're loading? We got guns on our hips, plus that strange silencing magic Naruto-senpai casted. We'll be fine, Yamada. Takashi assured him. Hey. Thieves from MMORPG don't yap out in the open. Can it? Saya scolded the boys. Meanwhile, Shizuka was in a state of panic in the front seat of the Humvee, with Kyoko in the passenger seat. Hey? What the heck? The steering wheel in on the other side. She complained, Naruto-kun, what's taking so long? You should have been here with the girl by now. Yuuki complained as she prepared to go downstairs to the others. Arisu-chan's taking a leak. Naruto replied flatly, when you gotta go, right? Oh wait, her name is Arisu. She repeated as she saw Saya waving her flashlight at her, signaling that they were done packing. Yep. And she's just about done with her business. We'll be there in about a minute. Have the engine running by the time we get there. Naruto instructed. Roger. Yuuki confirmed, grabbing the rest of the weapons and jumped from the balcony to where the others are with the Humvee, her breasts bouncing as she landed and surprising everyone except Siko with her entrance. Is everyone ready? As ready as we're gonna be. Siko confirmed, looking where Naruto is, and Naruto-kun. On his way with our new companion. Yuuki answered before turning to the others who were still speechless, everyone inside. And Shizuka-sensei, start her up, now. Hi. Back with Naruto, he's now carrying Arisu on his back piggyback style with a little puppy inside his shirt. Be ready, Arisu-chan. Fido. Mad Ani-chan. What are going to do? Arisu asked as Fido barked. Naruto just grinned before sprinting and jumping over the fence and over the crowd of gathering zombies. Arisu screamed as they were in the air, but thankfully the rushing wind prevented the zombies below from hearing her, including the frantic barks of Fido. Hey, what that? Naomi asked, pointing to the sky from inside the now running Humvee with the others. Isn't that Yamada started, his and some of the others' eyes widening in shock when they saw a familiar face in the air. Naruto-kun. Saya and Rei shrieked in absolute shock as Naruto landed on the ground with his passengers in tow. Senpai's full of surprises. Miss Yuzu and Tashimi exclaimed. How does he do it? Kyoko wondered. Is he even human? Takashi questioned as Naruto jumped on top of the Humvee and Yuuki opened the top hatch. This is the last ferry that's on its way to Yuzu Island. Would you be boarding? Yuuki played playfully. You bet. Naruto said, handing Arisu to Yuuki, who gently brought her into the Humvee with Fido jumping in next, everyone in. Hi. Siko answered as Naruto made a call to Naruko. Good. Naruko. Naruto Nai. Good timing. I'm on my way to you. I'll be here in 1 minute. I see you coming. Hey Naruko. You remember the mission we had back in Law in the States? What we did to escape? You wanna go with that? Sound like my kind of fun. Then let's go for it. You know what to do. Always. Fantastic. Let me take the wheel. Naruto commanded as he hung up. Okay. Shizuka said, getting out of the driver's seat and Naruto getting in it. What are you going to do? Naruto grinned and put on the seatbelt. You all might wanna put on a seatbelt. After everyone was belted in, Naruto stepped on the gas and sped the light armored Humvee from its parking space in Rika's residence and down the road. Naruto. I know that the bridge in this way and I don't mean to be a backseat driver, but isn't it a horde of zombies in the way? Saya screamed, pointing a shaking finger at said horde. I know. Naruto simply said, snapping his fingers and erecting a force barrier that surrounded the Humvee. Charge. Yuuki shouted excitedly with the others yelling in panic as the barrier sent the zombies into the air, the impacts and bumps in the road shaking the Humvee and making the girl's assets jiggle. Is this normal for you guys? Shizuka squeaked. The fine normal Siko deadpanned as the road finally cleared and Naruto took down the barrier. Smooth sailing from here ladies and gents. Naruto declared as a loud rumbling loud was heard outside. There's our ride. Yuuki said, pointing at the pelican now flying over them, how are gonna get on? Levitate this hunk of metal up there. Wait, he can do that. Kyoko asked, reeling, is there anything you can't do, Naruto-san? All in good time, Kyoko-sensei Siko chided her, Naruto-kun. Hey guys Naruto started in mischievous sounding undertones, ever played Stuntman Ignition? You actually play that crap? Saya commented as the pelican flew straight ahead. At least some of us like to see something exciting. Takashi started before paling when he saw the pelican's cargo door open, figuring out what Naruto was planning with the Humvee and pelican. Senpai, you wouldn't. Already done. Naruto said, making a one-handed tiger sign, creating a dirt ramp on the road straight ahead. Geronimo. Yuuki and Arisu cheered and the little puppy barked while nearly everyone else yelled as the Humvee hit the ramp and sailed into the pelican, with Naruto hitting brakes once the Humvee was inside. As the cargo door of the pelican closed, everyone got out of the Humvee, with Rei, Saya, Shizuka, Miss Yuzu, Toshimi, Kyoko, Takashi, Takuzo, Naomi, Yamada and the other guys collapsing onto the floor. I'd say that went well. Naruto commented as some of them threw up. I'm dizzy. Arisu moaned and fell into Yuuki. I guess some people aren't cut out for thrills. Yuuki laughed before getting slapped in the back of the head by Siko. Always the joker, Yuuki-chan. Naruto, Yuuki, Siko, and the others looked to see Naruto's younger twin sister, Naruko, who was sporting her own foxy grin. Someone had to lighten the mood. Then again, I didn't need to seeing how everyone hurled their lunch. Siko just groaned and shook her head as Naruko leapt forward and hugged her brother. I was so worried when we couldn't get a hold of you. Glad you're safe with Yuuki-chan and Siko-chan. Naruko said. Same here, sis. Naruto said, returning the hug. I trust everyone's accounted for back at Yuzu Island. Yep. Now let's hurry back so our presence will quell Kachan's rampage. Naruko said as she went to go relay orders to the pilot to make a beeline to Yuzu Island, and you. Stop recording or I'll start charging. She snapped at the cameraman she saved from the bridge. But that stunt your brother pulled was amazing. The news reporter, Kuromi Haruka complained. Tell you what. I'll let your friend start recording again when we're close to Yuzu. Naruko said, with Haruka and the cameraman finally receding and shutting off his camera. That's the spirit. She went to the cockpit as Naruto tended to his weary group. What happens now? Rei asked. Well, we head home and from there we'll help start the search for your parents. Naruto promised. Can your little island and company even spare the manpower to do so? Saya asked, skeptical but making almost everyone look at her like an idiot. Little island? You say? Naruto shook his head and bent down to Saya's level. You underestimate Spiral Corporation. You underestimate my family's corporation. Just like everyone else, you underestimate it greatly. Naruto Nai, we've got a problem. Naruko said, her expression grim. Naruto sighed, so much for ending the night on a high note. What is it, Naruko? The proximity alert was triggered by one of our satellites. There's an umbrella ship heading towards the island, coming from the United States after refueling somewhere in California. At their current speed, they'll arrive exactly around the same time we will arrive at Yuzu Island, which means when we land, we're going to have some company. End of chapter 7. What if Godlike Naruto Zombie Apocalypse High School of the Dead end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.